After the downing of an Army helicopter, President Trump is blaming Iran and saying we must respond. ABC's Louis Martinez has learned that it's possible Iran didn't mean to do this.
What we have learned from U.S. officials is that a drone was involved. In other words, an Iranian drone brought down this Apache helicopter with a crew of 2 aboard. Now, what we are hearing from one U.S. official is that it is unclear whether there was an intent to actually bring down the drone, because the type of drone that was involved was one that is typically involved in the attacks on shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
Not only was it a drone that took down the chopper, it was a drone that saved the 2 service members. A Navy autonomous sea drone rescued the crew. It just arrived into the 5th Fleet in late March. It's the first time that a drone has been used to save U.S. military members. This is ABC News. Air Canada has grounded a pilot after 27 years and hundreds of hours of flying time. Transportation officials recently detected anomalies in the license documentation for Jeffrey Wall. Authorities comparing Wall to a doctor who is licensed to practice family medicine, marching into a hospital to perform brain surgery. The first 4 people on the next moon mission just got their orders.
We are returning to the moon, a grand adventure back to the lunar surface to build a moon base, and to do so for all of its scientific, its economic potential, and to master the skills for where we will inevitably go next.
The announcement from NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. The crew will be testing docking with a lunar module for an eventual boots down on the lunar surface. The Artemis 3 crew includes 3 Americans and 1 Italian astronaut. Realtors getting busy. Previously occupied homes selling at their fastest pace since December. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Big changes to Washington classrooms could be coming. More on that coming up. But first, let's check out that KIRO Newsradio traffic. And we're looking good across the map. All lanes are back open northbound across the Ship Canal Bridge here in Seattle. So we no longer have those heavy backups between the West Seattle Bridge and Ship Canal. You will experience a little crowding at the West Seattle Bridge to I-90, but nothing heavy. South 5, we're crowded coming out of Northgate across the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle, 20 minutes. And northbound 405, we're slow through the Renton S-curves. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A major change could be coming to Washington classrooms. No cell phones during the school day. Governor Bob Ferguson announced today.
I'll be proposing an away-for-the-day ban on cell phones in schools, meaning that from the first bell to the last, students will not have access to their cell phones.
If the ban is passed, Washington would join nearly 40 states and the District of Columbia that have banned or restricted on-campus cell phone use, according to a tracker from Education Week. World Cup visitors will get a little help navigating the city, courtesy of smart kiosks popping up around town. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake reports from First and Pike.
This is where you'll find the first of a proposed 50 8-foot-tall interactive kiosks citywide. The big touchscreen digital sign looks like a giant iPhone.
So if you click on the eat and drink icon, it will bring up a list of restaurants that are nearby to you.
Jessica Burton is with Ike Smart City, the company installing these kiosks in multiple cities nationwide. In return for ad revenue, Ike agrees to pay for the kiosks' maintenance and upkeep. This one is open now. There should be 20 more kiosks operating downtown, in West Seattle, in Ballard, and elsewhere by year's end. At First and Pike, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Pierce County deputies are investigating a shooting in Parkland that left a man seriously injured Saturday night. Deputy Carly Capetto says it happened just after 8 along the 1900 Park Avenue South block.
Witnesses reported shots came from a vehicle that sped off after the male was struck.
When deputies arrived, they found a man in his 40s lying on the sidewalk. The victim was taken to the hospital in serious condition. There's no suspect or vehicle description. More than 10,000 people are hoping to land an apartment in Seattle's first social housing building. The Seattle Times reports a Seattle social housing developer got 10,243 applications during a 2-week lottery that closed Friday. The agency is buying the Alara at the Market, a 150-unit high-end apartment building in Belltown. It's turning that building into a mix of affordable and market-rate homes. Names will be drawn at random. People making 30% of the area median income or less, about $34,000 $1,500 for one person get first shot at the 15 open apartments. After that, the next 45 apartments go to people making up to 50% of the area median income. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. I think you're going to like it. Partly sunny this afternoon, 62 for the high, and then mostly sunny into next week, 66 tomorrow, and then a warming trend kicks in. We could be seeing 90 by Sunday. Sunny, windy, and 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. Jake Skorheim sitting here alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike,
Tuesday,
welcome.
buddy.
Happy Tuesday. It's beautiful sunny weather right now.
Out there, man.
It was raining and just crap weather earlier, and now it's super nice.
It's January. Wait a minute. I owe Ted Beaner 37 cents. Every time I use the term January.
You have to pay him?
Yeah. It's okay. It's well worth it.
It's good copyright. It's supposed to get hot. Did you hear Nate just saying that it was going to be jumping up into maybe this weekend into the 90s?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Is that,
no, thank you.
But they don't
Send
know.
It back.
They don't know. 5-6 days
Send
from
it
now.
back.
They don't know. They don't know. They have
Weather people, fake profession. All right.
I forgot this was a sore subject.
This is a sore subject.
I know.
Meteorologist?
I pick at that. Yeah, I know.
What are you?
Back 300? You're going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Got a gold jacket.
It's a pretty sweet career, actually, if you can just be a person who reads a weather app.
Has a window.
Goes on, 100%. Then goes on TV and tells us what everybody else knows instinctively by looking outside.
Do you remember the movie,
Anchorman?
No, Anchorman.
Weatherman?
Even better. Nope, even better.
What was the one with Nicolas Cage where he was like wasn't he a weatherman? And he was going crazy or something?
Yeah, that one. I'm talking about the Mean Girls.
Not where I thought you were going.
One of the three was like, 60% of the time, my breast can tell if it's already raining. She's outside standing in the rain.
I do not recall that.
That's
I might actually have that clip, Spike.
Do
Let
you
me check.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's pretty funny. Was that well, it's one of them. It wasn't Lindsay Lohan, right?
Wasn't Lohan.
Okay.
Wasn't Rachel McAdams.
Well, we're far afield.
No, but that's the kind of skill set
All
it
right,
takes to be an accurate weather forecaster.
Play the thing.
I'm kind of psychic. It's like I have ESPN or something. My breasts can always tell when it's going to rain.
That's Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, she's very good.
Brilliant actress.
She's very good because I believed her as like a real kind of a dum-dum.
Sure.
But then I also believe her as like the lady who got in trouble for fixing all the blood results. Elizabeth something. Do you remember that show? Did you ever see that?
Oh, Theranos.
Theranos.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
She was also so good in The Housewife.
Did you guys remember how she would talk?
Oh, that was
you remember how weird that was?
She nailed that voice.
She nailed the voice. And she just literally, to get money from powerful men, she just started talking kind of weird. And then people started investing.
Got to have a gimmick, man. Got to have a little something. You know?
It worked.
Something special.
All right. Speaking of something special, 6 days away from the World Cup. Everybody's very excited.
I got the fever.
And the only prescription is more World Cup.
Surveillance.
Surveillance, yeah. This is really interesting. So we're going to read to you a little bit about what they're going to do to try to make sure that everybody's safe. They've been studying this for like 2.5 years. Like federal officials gotten together 2.5 years ago. Yeah. They knew the World Cup was coming to the United States. It's supposed to be the biggest event any country's ever hosted. More teams competing than in the past. Right. All these different things.
16 cities, 3 countries, 1 continent.
48 teams.
Unbelievable.
1 day. No, it's not 1 day.
More
it's many
money.
Days.
More money has been spent on planning, organization, and security for this event.
So Seattle Times kind of broke this down, and they talked to a number of folks involved. They talked to Seattle Police Captain Dan Nelson, King County Undersheriff Jeff Florer, among a group of local law enforcement officials whose job it is to get into a room in something they called the Unified Command, which is a cool name, to get into a room and just come up with crazy scenarios that could happen.
Yeah, trouble.
And then figure out how to plan against those scenarios. Right. And what's interesting is this happens in at the federal level.
Yeah,
they will bring in at the federal level. They will bring in famous authors who will dream up terrorism scenarios.
Worst case scenarios,
and then they will work backwards to figure out how to prevent just such an occurrence.
It's amazing to me.
And also really interesting, like you never want any of these things to happen.
No, of course not.
But you also want to make sure, like, how do you be, how are you ready in case somebody comes, gets over Seattle with a bunch of drones that have bad stuff.
You see all the investment in drone technology and drone security?
That's where I was going with
This is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'll
ton of money.
though, we've been focused so much on the mayor's 11th hour decision to use the tools available to keep the city safe.
Yeah.
I didn't really take into account all the different factors and expertise and resources dedicated to not just Seattle, of course, the 16 host cities hosting World Cup 2026 in Canada, Mexico, and, of course, 11 in the U.S.
Yep.
Unbelievable amount of expertise and resources and money.
Here's my question to you, because I had kind of a different reaction. I'm going to read to you all the different agencies that are involved, who have been in touch with the mayor's office. Spokane County Sheriff's Office is going to be sending a helicopter. Kennewick Police Department are going to be sending motorcycle officers.
Yep.
State Patrol, FBI, U.S. Marshals, Secret Service, Coast Guard, and Washington State Guard, along with fire departments, EMTs, several emergency management offices. They're all involved in something called the Unified Command. More than 50 agencies and city departments working together. This is not happening just last week. This has been happening for a long time. And only on Friday, Katie Wilson finally said, you know what? Maybe cameras are a good idea. How is it possible? You have all these people who are telling you this is a very serious thing, and only on Friday does she come up and say, you know what? I'm finally willing. Now I believe there's a credible threat. Do you see all the money they're investing? They're obviously taking it very seriously. How could you take it any other way but have cameras on? It's crazy to me she waited until a week and a half before the World Cup.
Well, I mean, in some sense, I almost admire her dedication to her philosophy.
To stupidity?
Sure, her dedication.
I mean, it's just
to her philosophy of,
and I mean that in a loving way. Obviously, I'm not calling her stupid.
Freedom and liberty. No, just embracing stupid. You don't have to. Anyway, stupid's not just a verb with her; it's a way of life. The commitment to. I mean, the reason that the mayor had decided that the surveillance cameras couldn't be trusted under the federal guidelines of immigration enforcement and their relation to World Cup games, the mayor was so dedicated to it. It really took 50 agencies and $500 million to get the mayor to turn on the light bulb and see common sense. But she did it. She got it done.
Well, yeah.
You know me, I'm World Cup half full kind of guy.
Sure. I think that makes sense. That's fine. That's a good approach to life.
All's well that ends well. And I tell you what, I have never felt more
safe,
reassured, safe.
Yeah. Probably more safe.
You know, than given this much resource and forethought and planning
on game days. Listen to this. This is part of the Unified Command. This is impressive. This is very impressive. On game days, according to Seattle Times, representatives from more than 50 agencies and city departments will work under the Unified Command of Seattle's Office of Emergency Management, Police, Fire, and Transportation Departments out of a joint information center at 5th Avenue and Washington Street. Emergency Management's head of operations detailed this. Representatives from the mayor's office, FIFA and local organizing committee, and Lumen Field, renamed Seattle Stadium, will be there too. But don't forget who's a key member.
Like, bye.
I'm just kidding.
That's the farewell committee.
I hope
wave goodbye to everybody who comes and visits the city.
I'm kind of hoping that her job is just to keep refreshing people's coffee or doing something for people who actually know what the security actually is.
Maybe keep the paper full on those 4,000.
Just stand by the lights in the room. Do you guys want the lights on?
Dimmer?
Higher?
Is it warm enough? Cold enough?
I could turn the AC up. Lumen Field, this was interesting too. Lumen Field, which normally holds about 70,000 people, 69,000 people, they're going to remove 6,000 to 7,000 seats because of all the press and all the different coverage.
Yes, I saw that new number.
So here's the new number. It's only 62 to 63,000 fans. Multiplied by 6 is 378,000 fans.
Right.
Okay, so here's my question. In the article, again, they mentioned the 750,000 number. That's almost exactly half of the people coming into town. Okay, so 750 divided by 2 would be...
If they're sticking to that projection with a full sellout crowds for every game.
Yeah. So 378,000 fans, if it's a sellout crowd, that means 372,000 fans are expecting to come into town and just do local watch parties or something like that.
Be a part of the vibe.
I still don't find that to be realistic. I guess time will tell, and it's coming on. It's 6 days away.
Here's how I've been looking at it. It's not 750,000 people coming from all corners of the globe. These are people who have tickets to the game. They'll come from far and afield to come do this. But the people in
then you might have people in Seattle.
People in, God, who knows where, to Pierce County coming over. People from even east of the mountains coming over to be a part of the vibe of these multiple watch parties
think so?
and street fairs. Yeah, I do. I think,
You're a glass is half World Cup kind of guy.
I'm a cup half full kind of guy. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. This is the biggest sporting event on the face of the earth in history.
Would this persuade you to maybe think differently? There are not going to be any public parking available at the garages at Lumen or T-Mobile. Did you see that part of the article?
I did see that, but I kind of knew that was the case.
Why?
Well, because first off,
why would they open up parking?
Because the support network required to make these things go smoothly is being acclimated or is being allotted to those reserve parking.
The entire garage,
the parking structures.
Parking structures at Lumen and T-Mobile. Yeah.
That's going to be off the books, not available to us. All the private lots will still be available, but be ready to pay a couple $100, I'll bet.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Like
if a Seahawks game is $100.
Exactly.
Think about what World Cup's going to be.
And that's why they got the ferry boats. That's why they got the transit. They got the trains. They want this to be a public transit visited.
That's
events.
what they called it. They said they want it to be a transit-only event.
Yeah, and see the last mile. The nothing but foot traffic.
Yep.
In all directions of the park on game event days.
Sure.
Yeah. I think this is solid, good common sense policies from people who have done this kind of thing repeatedly. The best of the best of the best.
Let me ask you this question. Did you catch this part of the article where they're talking about all the safety? Now they make a lot of mentions about making sure. I'm going to read this part of the Seattle Times piece. Seattle police officers assigned to the World Cup events will wear bright yellow uniform shirts to make them stand out in the crowds. Plainclothes officers will mingle with pedestrians, according to their source here. Police outreach and engagement teams, along with EMTs and bike cops, will accompany fan marches. There will be a visible police presence at all of the fan celebration sites. And then this is the part I highlighted, newly installed cameras in the stadium district will be activated by the Real-Time Crime Center if police learn of credible threats. Did that raise a brow with you? Because I was under the impression as of Friday that those cameras were going to be on.
Yeah.
Are these different cameras?
I hadn't caught that in my read of the article.
Newly installed cameras in the stadium district. I assume these are the same ones because these were the ones everyone was talking about.
There's been a system in place that the mayor said, remember, it was all about throwing a switch.
66 of them, yeah.
Right.
Newly installed cameras in the stadium district will be activated by the Real-Time Crime Center if police learn of credible threats or officers are responding to in-progress incidents.
That is a little odd because I thought the decision was made on Friday.
I did as well because this is what pre-Friday my understanding of the cameras was. If there was credible threats, and we were all saying credible threats, just a bunch of people coming into town. You don't want to have to film something after the fact. Obviously, you can't do that, so you want to catch it on camera if something horrible happens. Also, the deterrence of the cameras constantly being on is useful, so people don't think that they should break the law.
I guess is there another level of surveillance available in case? So they actually have this real time, because the decision on Friday was based upon, generalized but credible assumptions, common sense assumptions.
She said it's now a quote a credible threat.
Right.
That's the state they're living in now because of all the people coming in and what she has now been told by the FBI or whoever she was speaking to.
Which means existing camera setups were now available to use for security. Are there more additional new cameras?
I'm not reading it that way. I'm reading it as the cameras that were recently installed in the stadium district, because those are the ones that everyone was talking about, the ones that are active sometimes on Seahawks and Mariners games.
Yeah.
Will be activated by the Real-Time Crime Center if police learn of credible threats.
I think we're a go.
I think we need to...
We're green. The light is green.
But it doesn't sound like they'll be on unless there's a credible threat. And I thought we were already in a state of credible threat.
We're poor mayor. She's chasing her tail. She can't make it. I don't know. Well, let's get some clarity. We'll reach out to the various
Can we reach out? Laura, can you send an email to whoever's in charge of security over there? Send one to John Diaz. He's in charge of...
I already sent that one. Yeah.
Well, did you ask about this question?
Oh, I just asked him to come on. Yeah. But I'll totally follow up on that because that is they were saying before that they had a combination of cameras from business owners and police body cam, and then there's this new system, and they weren't sure if they were going to switch it on or off, but that's more of a CCTV system. And this sounds like, I don't know.
Sounds like they're not having it on.
It sounds suspicious, right?
Yeah. Ask them about that. See if they'll get back to us. That'd be great. All right, so lots of stuff. They have a bunch of money they put into these drone trailers. There's 3 of them. Each one's $3 million. Basically, these things form a triangle around the stadium district.
And they're very similar to like the anti-missile technology.
Yeah,
they have drones that can take down other drones.
Yeah.
These aren't just surveillance. These are interceptors.
And they can go and they can take control of drones that they find up in the sky.
Remotely control something that's right.
It's pretty cool.
$3 million a piece they spend for these little, and they fit in the palm of your hand.
I'd say well worth it. That's pretty neat. They got
so much money.
They got if you are caught flying a drone. There's two types of people who might fly a drone over an event like this because it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You might just be somebody who's kind of a dum-dum and don't know the rules and regulations. They will give you a warning, and they will say, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, by the way.
We had one of those occur during the Seahawks victory parade celebration at Lumen.
There you go.
They had some chucklehead trying to get video.
And then they say there's the bad actor part.
Right.
And those are the people that they have to be worrisome about. And they said those people will be getting $100,000 fines if they find you and they see that you're maybe doing something bad. It's kind of crazy. But we will see how it goes, and hopefully it's all smooth sailing. And it sounds like they're definitely planning ahead as far as safety goes. So that I was actually impressed with the amount of safety that they are and how seriously they seem to be taking this.
Yeah,
all those different agencies. 50 agencies and city departments. So
it amazes me. I know we've had this story numerous times within the last few weeks, and we'll have who's the gentleman we're having coming on at 2:00 today? Mr. Orr.
Peter Orr.
Peter Orr is going to come on and join us. He's
March for Peace.
One of the residents who's been affected by the pimp wars in North Seattle. Mm-hmm. Amazing that this much resources and technology and cooperation and collaboration are available for an event like the World Cup. And I get it. It's the largest sporting event in the world.
Yeah, but they can't put a damper on the pimps.
You can't drop a police substation. One of the we'll have more on with Peter Orr. One of the list of requests, if not demands, the residents made to the mayor's office. How about dropping a little substation right there at Aurora and 99,
sure.
92nd and Aurora, or
send
97th.
a drone up. They got cool drones.
Seriously, what are you doing with this stuff after the World Cup? I was thinking.
Yeah,
we're getting tons of resources.
Go watch the pimps
for the next 5 weeks.
Absolutely.
Just schedule a match up in North Seattle.
See if you can get a little time. I mean, there's 6 games. It's 5 weeks or something that these things are spread out over?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some time. There's only 6 days. What are the drones doing on the other days? Go find some pimps.
Stay sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practice.
Right.
Practice on pimps.
I like it.
Did you see these kiosks that they're setting up? What do you think of these? These 8-foot tall digital billboards that are going to go around. They're like touch screens.
Touchscreen informational screens, multilingual, to help visitors to the city find their way around, find these. Where are those $400,000 bathrooms I keep hearing about? You'll be able to find out.
Yeah.
Where are eating, transportation, all the different needs the visitors have. Huge touch screens.
I was going to
and bringing in a lot of money in advertising.
I was gonna get my ire up about these, but they're free. They're, it's a private company that set them up. They're paying for them. The city's going to be a profit participator with whatever ads that they run.
That's opportunity taken.
I would prefer a UR. I mean, a "You Are Here" sign is usually pretty helpful. Show you where to go.
Yeah,
you are right here. You can go over here.
I remember the mall. I was raised there. You bet.
100%.
Where's the cookie? Yeah.
I do worry that with the local population downtown, that they're going to find these like moths to a flame. They're going to find these to be very appealing. I mean, we saw the picture. You see what one of those guys was doing in one of the water fill-up stations?
The drinking, the water fill-up station. Not a drinking fountain. It's a place to refill your water bottle. And already it's being multi-used.
Yeah, as a personal shower facility.
Yeah, for those experiencing sweaty homelessness. Ugh. You know what, though?
Careful where you fill up your water bottles. That's all I'll say. Because it's like I tell my kids all the time whenever they want to use public drinking fountains, which they just find a delight.
It used to be delightful. Now
now it's like people are washing stuff that you do not want near your mouth.
You want to move that guy's laundry first and get your fresh drink of water.
Exactly.
Did you see the sticker on the side of the water bottle filling station?
No.
No brass or copper components inside. There's a sticker.
Oh, that's depressing.
But it's necessary because, copper thieves, they're ripping everything apart to see what's inside can be scrapped out.
It'd be funny if they were still doing that plumbing with copper in the city just because they're so slow on everything. Everybody else is using plastic and pipes, and they're just like, we still do copper. Copper's actually great. I like copper.
Greatest.
Yeah, copper's the best.
Just watch Moonstruck. He'll tell you.
It's the best. All right, we got a lot coming up. Next, Spike, what are we working on next? We have a guest.
We have Chris Sullivan. It's Sully time coming up.
Sully time.
Yeah.
Chris Sullivan joining us next.
Trying to save you some money this summer.
This work zone story is kind of nuts. You might be surprised at how big a work zone can get, and you can still get a ticket, even if you can't see any workers in the work zone. Chris will tell us about it next. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Pierce County deputies arrested a 31-year-old man in South Hill after complaints he was approaching children at an apartment complex. Calls came in Saturday evening along the 14,100 block of Meridian East.
I'm going to ask you a question. Are you a sex offender?
Yes, I am, sir. Okay. Am I ever doing anything like that again? Never in my life.
I'm not
Have
asking.
I done anything linear to it?
Deputies say the suspect refused commands to stay put during questioning. After multiple failed attempts to get him into a patrol car, a struggle followed. He was eventually detained and booked for interfering with an investigation and violating sex offender terms. Kent police are searching for answers after a man's body was found in a brush-covered area near 94th Avenue South and Canyon Drive. Officers responded to a 911 call last night and found human remains. Investigators say it had been there for a significant amount of time. There are no obvious signs of foul play, but homicide is not ruled out. A 21-year-old man is facing serious charges tied to what investigators call a Bellevue OnlyFans house. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas has details.
Nikita Ticchiello is facing 4 counts of human trafficking as well as charges of money laundering and organized crime. That following a disturbing pattern dating back to 2024 of allegations of assault, strangulation, and threats with guns for those young women living at the house.
Nikita definitely makes it sound promising, like these girls are going to make a lot of money and have a lot of opportunities, be able to fly out to these really expensive cities, nice places, and it just doesn't end up being the case.
Instead, prosecutors claim Ticchiello was in complete control of their OnlyFans accounts.
Ticchiello is being held on $5 million bail. He's set to be arraigned tomorrow morning. Seattle is bracing for about 750,000 World Cup visitors and 6 matches at Lumen Field. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on security preparations.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes said on the G and Ursula show that the tournament is a SEER 2 federal security event. We will see hundreds of officers in FIFA gear, tight road closures, and a major focus on keeping fans safe.
There'll be some things that you will see and some things that you will not see. So for bad actors, be careful because you never know who you're going to be talking to.
Barnes says about 400 officers will be deployed on each match day. Locals are urged to use transit, arrive early, and just focus on having a good time while police handle public safety. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
On Wall Street, numbers are down. In fact, the NASDAQ still down sharply as tech stocks sell off. Dow's down 28, S&P 500 down 45 points, and NASDAQ down 345. And now check out your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Well, no significant backups or collisions to report on any of our major routes. Here in Seattle, South 5 still a little crowded coming out of Northgate into downtown. North 5, I'm seeing a brief backup there right at I-90. And South 405 slowly but surely filling in between Factoria and Renton. Nothing heavy yet. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12-month free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. Windy, partly sunny, and 62 this afternoon. That's what the forecast calls for, but we're already at 62, so obviously we're going to get a little warmer than that this afternoon. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Happy to have Sully on. Spike, you reminded me earlier that he was going to be on. You said, hey, it's going to be Sully time.
Sully time.
I was thinking that might be a fun new segment for the show. Anytime Chris is on, it's called Sully time.
Sully time.
Sounds like kind of jovial and fun.
We'll have to talk to Hammer.
We'll get some
because he
walk-on
may
music.
have. Okay, yeah, he may have
patent pended everything that's something time.
Are you going to wear Sully pants?
I could. I used to wear those back in the day. By the way, just so you know, I used to wear parachute pants.
Sully pants are actually just shorts.
Yeah, they probably are. They're just really balloony around the thighs.
By the way, federal parody law allows me to make a jingle for Sully time.
Okay, good. Okay, very good. Well, we can go for it. I didn't want to step on Hammer.
Right.
You don't want to hurt him.
All right, let's talk about this is an interesting one. This is about work zones, cameras surrounding work zones, the distance that a camera can be from a work zone where you could still get a ticket for a work zone. Explain this to the people, because I was shocked by this.
Okay, so and I think the reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to kind of, I believe, shatter an illusion or an assumption that many of us drivers may have about how these cameras work. About a year ago, the Department of Transportation rolled out mobile work zone speed cameras. They attach basically onto a trailer. They can go on an SUV and they can be anywhere at any time. They moved them around. They started with 5. If you've driven the Ship Canal Bridge during the closure, you've seen it on northbound across at the very end of the Ship Canal Bridge many days during the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So these cameras, the idea is they're trying to cut down on work zone crashes, trying to keep people in those work zones alive, because this is this is speeding in work zones is a problem, especially at night, and so this is the way they're going to combat it. So these work zone cameras are pretty simple. They can roll them out anywhere. They put up a sign that says speed enforcement, camera enforcement is underway. Here's the speed limit, and the state law requires that workers be present for when these cameras are active. Usually when workers aren't there, they take the cameras down. Like if you were on the Ship Canal and a camera wasn't there, the sign would still be there. So there was still the threat of you getting a ticket.
But it's similar to a school zone camera.
Correct.
If the light's flashing.
Right, that's the thing. But it comes to what does when workers present really mean and what assumptions drivers might have. And the reason this came up is we've had a couple of people reach out to, like John Curley and G. Scott, friends of theirs, who got tickets recently, ironically, both in the same construction zone on Highway 18 from Tiger Mountain down to I-90, where they've rolled out this camera. And they're like, why did I get a ticket? There was nobody here. I mean, where were the workers?
No worker, no fine.
No worker, no penalty. Why did I get this citation?
And that's a huge work zone.
Yeah, it's 2 miles long.
Yeah.
And so I started doing a little research and trying to figure out, because I want drivers to kind of understand what the playing field is. And here's the thing. That work zone could be 100 yards. It could be 100 miles.
You're speaking metaphorically.
This is I mean, there is no proximity language in any way, shape, or form as it relates to this program. All there needs to be is one worker somewhere in that work zone, whether you see that person or not, and that counts as a worker is present. So, for instance, that 2 mile long work zone, they were working under, above, to the sides, all over. You may not have seen that worker, but they only need one worker inside that, and they don't need to be anywhere near the camera.
So let me ask you,
just somewhere in the work zone.
So you're driving up by 18 and all that construction that's happening. 2 miles away, there might be somebody who's doing anything.
Correct.
20 miles away.
100 miles away.
If a work zone sign is posted, you've entered that ticketable work zone space?
Correct. And until it says end of construction. They don't need to be anywhere near the camera. They don't need to be visible. They just need to be there. Now, the State Patrol does review every single possible citation, and whether or not workers are present or is part of what they call their evidence package as they determine whether or not to give a citation. But I think a lot of drivers, and I was one of them, had kind of had the false assumption that, I got to be paying attention to workers right around the camera. No, I just got to slow it down over the entire work zone regardless whether I'm near the camera or not, or whether I see people or not. Because think about the one we had on the Ship Canal Bridge. Where was it placed? It was at the very far, far, far north end of the construction zone.
Yeah.
Why? Because they couldn't really put it anywhere else because of what they were doing and where they were working. They didn't have it in the middle of the bridge because there wasn't any room for it.
Where the workers were.
Correct. So, and it was all, and I thought it was kind of like, well, is that fair? That's right where we're accelerating past 50 because I could see the 60 mile an hour sign a quarter mile away, but the camera was at the far north end where maybe nobody was. But so it's just, the assumption that you may have had as a driver is wrong. If there's a camera, or if there's not, the sign says there is, and here's this, you can get a ticket anywhere in that zone, whether or not you see workers or not.
So it's probably safe just to assume If you see a work zone, just go slow.
And that's the bottom line. I mean, I'm not trying to get people out of tickets here. I want people to understand that there's nothing related to distance or anything really. It's like you go in that zone, you see the camera, you should be slowing down anyway.
Yeah.
But here's the reason you probably got a citation if you didn't see workers, because there probably was one and you just didn't know it.
And those citations, I mean, I've seen the signs. It's double the fine, right?
Well, no. With this automated camera system, the first citation is free. The first go through is free, but that's changing on July 1st. Starting July 1st, you go through, you get a ticket, it's going to be $125. You go through a second time, it's $248. And through the first year of doing this, the State Patrol has issued 77,000 tickets for speeding through work zones. Of that, about 10% were people who were doing it more than once. So those people are actually getting fined on the front end. But now there are no more freebies starting July 1st. So that's a ton of people speeding through work zones.
And we're talking about this posted sign, the beginning and the end of a work zone.
Correct.
And is there any kind of state restriction on how big the work zone can be?
No.
For any particular job?
No.
So
I mean, if you've driven through Spokane,
I was about to say, you could put a sign up at the I-90 bridge, work zone, and in Spokane, end of work zone. They got the whole state covered.
Well, I mean, they got to be codes there. I mean, it's got to be an active work zone. I mean, they're still. They're not out there designed to screw you. I don't believe. Wow. But I mean, there is the possibility. I mean, you look at one of the places starting July 1st where they're going to now move these east of the Cascades as well. One of the spots is going to be on I-90. Right there, getting into Spokane by Geiger, right there by the airport on the west side. So they're through that construction zone,
which is like a 4-lane highway, 5-lane highway.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thought. So we've had in the news recently, we've talked about Ferguson and the Office of Financial Management projecting economically how bad things are going to get for the state. Ferguson saying, "Hey, agencies, just letting you guys know, we're going to have to tighten the old belt and look for new sources of revenue. Probably he's going to tax people." I look at something like this, and I go, they are incentivized now to get as many of these tickets as possible. If you had Spike, and I guess, before you told us that 77,000 number, there's no way in a million years I would have come up with 77,000. I would have said maybe a tenth of that. I would not have said 77,000. Were you shocked by that number?
Floored.
Do we know what the number was before they introduced these cameras? Do we know what the number of speed zone tickets were prior to the cameras?
In terms of,
like how many issues?
Kind of apples and oranges, because at that point, I mean, I could go back and ask State Patrol how many actual people were pulled over and then ticketed.
Yeah.
But that was the mechanism before automation.
Was physically watching someone speed through work zone. Manpower.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So, but now
I bet you it wasn't a fifth.
Probably not. But there were, tons of people speeding.
I'm not saying that the people were right to speed. What I'm saying is, you watch now as all of these ways that they're going to come up with, like getting you for every little thing. Like you said, if a work zone now can be 2 miles to 200 miles, I mean, technically that's probably never going to happen that length, but they're looking for new ways to make money because this state's in a bad spot. They're not going to be.
This money, though, under the law, is earmarked specifically back into like highway safety programs and things like that. Though, knowing the legislature, they'll probably find a way to get it into the general fund with another.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right of the pen.
Why don't they just take it just like they did all the what do they do with the police and fire chiefs?
Oh, the pension plan.
Yeah,
just kind of
that was originally not supposed to be general fund, and now look at where it's made.
And let's not also forget that about 18 months ago, maybe a little less than that, maybe 2 years ago, they implemented a pilot project for non-work zone speed cameras, automated cameras, to try to test how many. And they were, I mean, one was on I-5 up in Skagit, the other one was on I-90
just
east of Spokane, and it was like bang, bang. They were
everybody speeds.
And again, there were no tickets issued during that, but it was a pilot project to make this not just work zones, but everywhere.
2 points.
Potentially.
2 points I'd like to make. It's good to reduce speed for a work zone. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
If there wasn't a problem, they wouldn't have gone to these systems with cameras. Yeah. The second is, this is the season for work in Washington.
Yeah.
So you're going to see work zones everywhere this summer. And as Sully tells you, slow down. Tickets are coming.
Yeah.
Assume there's going to be a camera there.
So that's the thing. Just as WashDOT told me for this story, just assume that the zone is active. And if they say there's a camera, believe them. You don't
have to see a worker.
No, you don't have to. But that is factored in as the State Patrol looks at every one of these. But yeah, you don't have to see him. That's an assumption that I made and a lot of drivers have made. Don't make it again.
All right, check out everything he's doing over there on mynorthwest.com. Chris Sullivan, thanks for joining us.
Sure, anytime.
This has been another Sully time. And we'll see you in a little bit. We'll be right back after the break.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory is a little different. We actually reach out to the small business world, to Joel Taylor and Sean O'Donnell from Sean O'Donnell's Restaurants. Sean, when Joel brought this to you, the idea of why don't we take this First Mark Challenge victory, what was your thought?
My goal was to save some money and to simplify our operations. We've got 6 locations now, and along with that comes complications. And when things get complicated, things that are important get forgotten. First Mark was able to simplify that and also save us money.
Not only have they saved us money, they helped us identify some blind spots in our policies. Their service team has been phenomenal, unparalleled in my experience, given us a lot more solutions with better coverage, and just made too much sense.
First Mark's just made it easy for us.
So if you're a business owner and your insurance is in need of simplifying and streamlining and eliminate the stress, do what Sean O'Donnell's Restaurants did. Reach out to First Mark Insurance. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance, your teammate in the business world too. Going to work for you.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
If your water heater's failing or running out too fast, we've got CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program. Get a new system starting at just $44.99 a month with lifetime repairs and maintenance included. Book your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
All right, welcome back to the show. A couple of sports stories for you. We're going to start local and then work our way out to a national betting scandal story, which is really fascinating.
And I think it might be a game changer. I really do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that in a second. I don't want to besmirch this guy right now. Josh Naylor, he hit a grand slam last night.
Speaking of game changers, baby.
Yeah, I love Josh Naylor. He has quickly become one of, if not my most favorite Mariner. He's just cool. He seems like a good guy. He's always got cool, like, extra Mariners gear on. Like, you ever watch his belts?
He's got style. His shoe game is phenomenal.
Everything's
his
great.
His sock game is major league.
I think part of it is the Canadian. Like, there's a Canadian part of it. I don't know what it is, but he's a very likable guy.
Does he wear flannel? Sorry,
Does he wear flannel?
Stupid dad jokes.
We wear a lot of flannel here.
I know, but
why would that be more Canadian?
Canadians are known for it.
No, we own that.
Maybe that's the grunge thing. Here you go.
All right, so this is Naylor just hitting a grand slam, which are always fun. Here you go.
Here's the pitch. Swung on. That is blasted. Right field. It's towards the big wall. It is gone! Over the big wall. Grand slam. Sail away, Josh Naylor.
Heck yeah.
He clears them all with one big swing.
Pretty sweet.
And the Mariners lead 5-1.
Did they end up winning that game? Was it 6-3
yeah.
over the Orioles?
My O's, bud.
Over
all
your
my buddies
O's?
were at the park. I'm getting texts from the park.
Were they at the park?
Yeah, they're down at Camden.
Are
down
they
at Camden
having
Yards.
Heat wave right now?
I don't know.
No, okay. I thought they were having a heat wave for some reason.
Not
We're gonna have a heat wave
bullpen,
here.
They're not. Woo, baby.
Cold as ice.
Awesome.
Everybody in the stadium's just like, we'll just get close to the team and cool down.
There you go.
Can we talk for a second, though, about this betting scandal? You were telling me about this before the show. This is not here. This is is this Texas Tech?
Texas Tech. It's a quarterback at Texas Tech University who's in his 5th year of eligibility. He was suspended by the NCAA because it's been investigated and adjudicated that this young man, when a freshman and a sophomore playing in Indiana, then he played 2 years in Cincinnati, made over like $90,000 in bets. I mean, bet compulsively is the issue here.
He won $90,000 or he bet $90,000?
He bet $90,000. He was diagnosed
Where
with
did he get $90,000?
Well, that's the problem. He didn't quite have $90,000. He was diagnosed with gambling disorder and anxiety disorder. That means he's a bad gambler.
Nobody has a disorder if they're winning money.
Right, then they have gambling and euphoria disorder if they're a good gambler. Long story short, this guy was suspended by the NCAA, the NCAA. He was suspended by the NCAA.
Sure.
For forever. It's a complete.
And this is when he was in Indiana?
This is he bet it when he was in Indiana. He was suspended when he was finishing up 2 years at Cincinnati. He since was the most attractive quarterback in the transfer portal, signed on with Texas Tech, suspended by the NCAA. His lawyers argued he has a gambling disorder, a certified medical condition and the league and the team and the NCAA are required to respect and assist him in recovering from his medical condition.
So he's no longer banned?
A judge in Texas reinstated his eligibility.
What?
Because he's got a medical condition. And
Fifth-year senior, by the way.
and he didn't throw any games, didn't shave any points, didn't have any kind of outcome.
So he wasn't playing on the team.
Never.
He was on the bench, but he wasn't in the game.
Never threw a game, never shaved a point. Just has a gambling problem.
And he bet that his team would win.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes he bet the other. Sometimes he knew the Indiana basketball team was so bad, he bet on the other team.
But he wasn't playing on the basketball
Wasn't
team.
playing. Never,
Okay.
never affected the outcome. And his medical condition should be protected by the team and supported by the league.
Fascinating. All right, we got a lot
NCAA is
more.
appealing, by the way.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown, Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Has your junk drawer taken over the whole house? Closets jammed? Garage packed? Pantry a mess? Don't just live with it. John Curley here for Closets by Design. Organize your closets, garages, laundry rooms, and home offices with Closets by Design. Everything is custom built for how you actually live. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. President Trump blames Iran and says he'll respond. After a U.S. Army helicopter was shot down near the Strait of Hormuz this morning, the military says the chopper was downed by an Iranian drone, and the crew were rescued by a U.S. Navy drone ship, the first time an unmanned ship has been used by the U.S. military. ABC's Karen Travers at the White House is working to find out when or how America will answer.
The White House hasn't responded to our questions about this, about what he might do now against Iran because of this takedown of the helicopter.
Happening now, Maine's primary election, which could shape the Senate. Voters there will decide if they can overlook recent revelations about Democratic frontrunner Graham Plattner. Jeffrey Epstein's longtime executive secretary, Leslie Groff, just told the House Oversight Committee in Washington that she was unaware of his crimes. She spent 18 years working for him, calling him a master manipulator. This is ABC News. It took more than 70 vehicle fires for Jeep to recall Wranglers and Gladiators, 1.3 million of them. From 21 through 25, Jeep urging owners to park outside, away from structures, because wiring around the steering could ignite. Strike averted at the World Cup LA site. Concession workers, servers, bartenders, dishwashers have a deal now with SoFi Stadium. President Trump won't be at the next Knicks-Spurs game at the Garden. He told a reporter he's busy with a war. Because of his presence there last night, fans had to wait an hour to get past security just to see the Knicks' amazing win streak end. Spurs coach Mitch Johnson crediting De'Aaron Fox for really pouring it on.
You know, there's times where you ride a hot hand or you do the snap, but De'Aaron's been one of the best closers in this league for the last, I don't know what it is, 5 to 7 years, whatever it may be. And he's been a great closer for us. We trust him with the basketball in his hand.
Game 4 is tomorrow night at the Garden. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
A major milestone for Boeing. Details coming up, but first a check on that traffic brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. In Bellevue, northbound 405, just past 520, we just cleared a collision. It's on your right shoulder, so it was blocking for a while, and you're backed up into Factoria. South 405, a little crowded between Factoria and Northeast 44th. Nothing too heavy yet, about a 15-minute trip between Bellevue and Renton. Here in Seattle, South 5, we remain crowded between Lake City Way and the Convention Center. North 5, though, is looking good now that we have all lanes back open on the Ship Canal Bridge. And in Tacoma, both directions of State Route 509 at Portland Avenue, the left lanes are blocked in both directions where crews are working on this semi that lost its trailer. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. About 18,000 customers are out of power this afternoon around our region. The biggest is in Kent, spanning about 6,000 homes and businesses, and a separate outage affecting 9,000 customers already came and went in the Auburn area. We're told high winds are ripping through the area and expected to continue through late afternoon. Well, Boeing is celebrating a major milestone with one of its biggest customers.
100 years from today.
American Airlines has taken delivery of its 100th 737 MAX jet during the carrier's 100th anniversary year. American still has nearly 140 Boeing aircraft on order, including additional 737 MAXs and 787 Dreamliners. The delivery comes as Boeing works to ramp up production in Everett. The first of dozens of touchscreen informational kiosks went live today in downtown Seattle.
Seattle's a tech town, and we finally have a 21st century modern wayfinding system.
That's John Scholes with the Downtown Seattle Association. The kiosk at First and Pike operates like a smartphone. You touch icons that open information about nearby dining, transit, and more. Scholes says it's just good luck that the first of a planned 50 kiosks is opening as World Cup visitors arrive. Speaking of, Uber says the World Cup could lead to unprecedented demand. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha has more.
Riders may see higher wait times and increased fares based on historical analysis. Trip demand is expected to be significantly higher. Uber says there will be temporary surcharges, $10 at drop-off, $25 for pickup, and 100% of the surcharges will go to the driver. There will be additional pickup areas north of Pioneer Square, east of Fifth Avenue, and south of Edgar Martinez near the stadium.
They're really convenient.
For Owens, the Lime biker scooter will still be his go-to choice.
Well, Washington's lottery is making history. For the first time, you can win a brand new car from a scratch ticket. The new $10 Keys and Cash game launches June 15th with 6 2026 Ford Bronco Sports up for grabs. Cash prizes up to $25,000 are also in play. Tickets go on sale at lottery retailers statewide next Sunday. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Mid-60s this afternoon, windy conditions and partly sunny, and then mostly sunny through the weekend. 66 tomorrow, 70s on Thursday, and near 90 on Sunday. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. There's just not enough time in the day. We've got so many stories today that we've had to kind of set aside and rearrange.
Calling audibles all day long as news breaks, as stories rise in importance to your life.
Did you see, real quick before we get into what we're chatting about here, did you see that Apache helicopter that was shot down? We now know it was shot down.
Yeah.
Earlier today, U.S. Central Command indicated that it had been downed, and then 2 U.S. Army, I would assume pilots, 2 U.S. Army soldiers at least, were in the water.
Right.
And then they had to be rescued by a drone boat. Did you see that?
I did.
That is so fascinating. That's the first case in warfare history of a drone boat rescuing soldiers at sea, which is really just crazy.
It is mind-boggling, the technological advances.
They've now updated and said that the helicopter was shot down and that, who knows what that escalates things to. But
what is about Trump and escalators? Sorry, I can't help myself some days.
No, you're very good at it.
Here we go. Israel can't stop blowing up Lebanon. Any peace deal is going to be contingent on the agreement of cessation of hostilities between those two nations. Anything that we in Iran are able to accomplish.
Can we go back to the drones for a second?
Sure. Yeah.
That's really more than what I'm interested in.
That's fine. There's too many stories.
How much of that can you and I solve from here? Not enough. Right. The drone thing, though, is fascinating. And it's really cool because I was on the website for the company that makes this drone. It's like 25 feet long or so. And it's just out there patrolling. It's got a range of 1,000 nautical miles. They can send it wherever they want it to go.
Yep. It's literally a lifesaver.
Lifesaver. You can send it into a war zone. You're not putting anybody else's lives at risk. Right. You go and you get the guys. They hop on. They're expecting a friendly face when the thing shows up. No faces at all. It's just a boat. They hop on. It takes them to a safe site where a helicopter with a person in it, with a pilot, comes, hovers over and picks them up. And then Bob's your uncle. They're saved.
They had at least, you ever watch Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
Remember the wiki? Remember that little robot with the little face, little electronic face?
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the new one or the original?
The new one, the old one.
Okay.
The old one. Remember it?
I think you're talking about Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
That's what
Twiggy. With Dr. Theopolis.
Twiggy, okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to put a drone out there, beady, you're going to put a drone out there, put a little happy electronic face on it. A guy's floating in the ocean.
Or like...
something.
Yeah, or like an R2. Put an R2-D2 out there. Beep, boop, beep, boop. R2!
Yeah. You're my only hope.
Can you imagine how sweet that would be if they put all a bunch of R2 units, even if they're just cosmetic and they do nothing, just an R2 unit on the back of a drone boat?
Just to put the surviving sailor at ease.
Yes.
Right?
Give them a little pad out there so they can watch a movie on the way back.
He can wiggle back and forth in excitement.
I've seen these boats too. There's no interior on these drone boats. You're just like, it's basically just a.
It's a dinghy, basically.
So what are you going to do on that for? Like, how many miles are you going before? Whatever, they rescue you. It's amazing.
Little holograms of the princess.
I wrote an article about this. You can find it on mynorthwest.com, and I make some references in there. It's really cool if you dig back into like ingenious military technology.
Oh yeah.
If you go back into World War II, there are so many cool things that there's just as a matter of necessity that they had to do, like converted Sherman tanks that ended up like clearing minefields with these giant. There's just so much cool stuff that they had to come up with. Because they had to.
Well, and we're innovators in this country. That's one of the beauties of America.
Yeah.
Is that we solve problems. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. All right.
Speaking of solving problems, let's turn our eyes
to something more local here. This was my prediction all along. King County Regional Homeless Authority. They went to Seattle City Council, I believe on Friday of last week, and they made their case for why they should stay in business and what they would do to fix their problems, because they're like $44 million in the hole, and that includes $13 million, I guess, in money that they
zoinks, just missing,
just gone.
It's a Scooby-Doo mystery.
Yes, and according to the story that I read here in Seattle Times, they have no way of showing what happened to that mysterious $13 million that went missing, which is the problem. So here's the part. The question was, are they just going to be dissolved as an agency? Have they reached the end of their time? Is the combination of bad financial management mixed with possible fraud, mixed with an increasing homeless problem, so the thing that you're set out to do, your one job as an organization is getting worse, and you're running it poorly, does that mean that the whole thing is going to have to shut down?
Is it time to scrap it and start over? That's the question we've been asking for months.
Yes. Is a centralized authority on this not very good, and let's get rid of that? It doesn't look to me like they're doing that. According to the Seattle Times piece, King County Executive Zahale is saying that they want to embed independent financial analysts within the authority to provide more immediate oversight and accountability, according to Seattle Times, as lawmakers weigh whether to repair or dissolve the agency, writes the Seattle Times. And to me, that's like the first step in trying to rehabilitate their reputation.
Reputation management, yeah.
And I don't think that that's possible to do. I think that would be folly, but I can see where they're deeply tied into the local community. There's a lot of money flowing through that place.
Yeah, what's the term? You've reminded me of this before, but I never can retain it. When you're chasing after bad money.
You're pot committed.
Pot committed.
Yeah.
Because they are. They've invested so much in this infrastructure.
Yeah.
As loose and Swiss cheese as it seems to be.
Isn't it hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah. Is there anything salvageable about that? Is the most practical way forward to see what worked out of that? If there's anything that worked and salvageable that we can then, I mean, it's hindsight's 40-40 in this case, not even 20-20. It is. They know what was wrong in the last iteration of the King County Regional Homeless Authority.
So that's the interesting part. They actually have done this external audit. They brought in a company to do this external audit. And
that's where those crazy numbers came from.
Yes. So two things happened. So King County Regional Homeless Authority came to Seattle City Council with their suggestions. Here's some things that we can do to get us back on the right track. And then you have this other company who originally found the missing dollars, who did this audit, who then is kind of looking at their proposed solutions. And here's what Seattle Times wrote about it, which I thought was really interesting. The Regional Homeless Authority was originally founded to streamline contracting processes for nonprofit service providers and get buy-in for solving the problem of homelessness from cities and towns across King County. So that was what they were originally set up to do.
That's their mission statement, yeah.
Yes. And this is what the auditor found. They said the level of debt carried by the agency resulting in unrecoverable interest payments reflects a failure of cash flow management practices rather than the structural consequences of the funding model itself. Most concerning, said this agency, is that they are saying it will take 9 to 18 months to integrate new internal financial controls, which according to Seattle Times would mean more than a year and a half of spending tax dollars without a safety net. That to me is like, I don't understand that. Like from day one, why are they coming back to you and saying all these recommendations for how to make sure that we're not doing, stupid things with the money? It's going to take us 18 months to institute those things into our programs. And yet you should still trust us with continued finances.
Yeah, that's not, I don't see how that makes any sense. Or that's not going to work.
That doesn't work. Absolutely doesn't work.
It's like the fire engine figures out, you know why I'm not getting water through the hose? It's because we haven't connected to the hydrant. But give us a year to 18 months to connect the hose to the hydrant, to get the water on the fire.
We know
That's our plan.
This is twisted somewhere, and I swear we're going to find it. Keep pumping water through.
We're going to just keep standing, aiming the hose at the fire.
Yes, and listen to this. According to Times, the corrective plan also does not acknowledge, let alone provide a plan for tackling practices that led to $6.4 million in spending, more than it was supposed to. So that's bad. It also does not lay out a plan for reconstructing accounting records prior to 2024 that the audit found were largely untraceable. So they're basically saying, like, hey, not only is it going to take us a year and a half to
put the right system in place,
but trust us, we'll do it. We also are not going to be able to go back and look at wherever that money went in the wind. We're just not going to be able to recover that, guys.
Well,
which to me sounds like fraud.
It does. It sounds like you're throwing up your hands because you're afraid to go look at what happened in the past.
Sounds like you're afraid of showing fraud or proving fraud. Now, again, we don't know if it's fraudulent. It could just be stupid accounting practices, but with taxpayer dollars, that's just as good.
It's probably a whole lot of both. The mayor has 1 month to come up with the mayor's her recommendation, whether or not to disband the King County Regional Homeless Authority, or to see if the fixes can be put into place in a timely fashion to make it viable to move forward.
Okay.
If this is the kind of information and feedback, if this is the first response, it's going to take us a year and a half to put the right system in place, and we really can't go back and figure out where we screwed up. I mean, it's making the mayor's decision a lot easier. There's a lot of people pushing for the disbandment of this thing.
Yeah, what are we even talking about? If they're basically saying, like, all the stuff you guys are telling us we can do, it's going to take us forever to do it, and then we're not even going to be able to show you where that money went. How is that accountability? Not at all. And then look at this last part, which I thought this was funny. The agency, this is according to Seattle Times, the agency also seems to have ignored the audit's advice of a hiring freeze. So even in the midst of all this turmoil, are they still hiring new people when the whole agency might be shut down? And then how does that work? Are you going to be then responsible? Like, what are the payouts going to be for the people who get fired? I don't know. What's the structure of how you even pay these people going forward? Is it responsible to hire new people, knowing that those jobs might not exist in a month?
Well, the audit says don't.
The audit,
the one that says, where did we screw up?
Are they taking good advice, or are they just ignoring it? And if they're just ignoring it, then
the only people you ought to be hiring are, first off, bookkeepers.
Good idea.
Cashiers. See who gets money.
Yeah.
And maybe a locksmith.
Yes.
To lock the door.
100%.
Right. It's like a bank's been robbed 55 times, and we figured out there's no lock on the door. It's going to take us a year and a half to keep to get that door locked, but we want you to keep letting us do business.
But eventually,
we keep putting money in the empty drawers. We got all these empty tills. We keep putting money in them.
We're going to put a lock on.
Eventually, we're going to lock that door.
Well,
and get this figured
after
out.
they commission a study about which kind of lock to buy.
After an 18-month study,
and figure out why does all the money keep disappearing.
I mean, you could have, even if their accounting. Here's my take on this. Even if their accounting was pristine, and there was not a single dollar missing, in this case, just $13 million missing apparently. Yeah. Even if they weren't $44 million in the hole, even if they were just even, I'm not even saying they have to be profitable because it's a nonprofit, so they can't be. But even if they were just even, I still would say you should probably shut them down. Because
you still got more homeless people than when you started.
Still got more homeless people when you started. So it's like, if you can get back to the starting line and really get this thing going, you're still looking at an agency that has utterly failed at the job because the homeless number has increased.
I've been a real proponent of see if there's anything worth salvaging in this scenario.
Yeah.
Because, otherwise we got to start all over and order a new letterhead and all that stuff. That's where a lot of the money went to.
That's expensive.
But I'm a big sports analogy guy. Strike one, you can't account for $13 million. Strike two, you're $44 million under budget. Strike three, you got more homeless than when you started.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder to be a proponent of, is there anything worth salvaging here? Because their initial efforts toward repairing, correcting the policy or the agency in place here and its policies, your initial offerings of solutions are far from adequate.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I like your analogy, too. I like the three strikes.
Hey, man, you're over budget, you lost money, and there's more homeless than when you started.
So what would you say?
You're out.
I love it. That's great.
Like,
also, that should be another segment. We should have Spike's Court.
Yeah.
And then also you should be like an umpire, and then you're just deciding these things. I do want to say real fast, CEO Kelly Kinnison is currently running the ship there. I don't blame her for this. Is she like the 5th CEO of this thing that started since 2021?
I don't know.
They basically had a new one every year. That is a horrible sign for whatever your agency is, however your business is being run. If you have 5 CEOs in as many years, not a good sign. I might be off on that number, but I think it's somewhere around 5 CEOs. All right, other stuff to talk about. This story's wild. We haven't a chance to really dig into this, but this Bellevue party house.
Oh my God!
They're calling it locally here. They're calling it the Diddy House. Have you heard that referred to?
I have heard it referred to that way because there's been allegations of sex trafficking of minors.
Yeah, there was a guy. Okay, so we'll give you some of the details on this. King County prosecutors. Como News has the details on this. My Northwest has a bunch of details on this. 21-year-old guy, Bellevue man. I think of 21-year-old as such a baby. I mean, like I think of 21-year-old as like a kid.
Yeah.
You're 3 years out of high school and you get picked up for doing this. And listen what they picked him up for. He's in jail right now. King County prosecutors are charging him with a lot of stuff, but he's in jail on $5 million bail. And here's the allegations against this guy. The charging documents say that this. Can you pronounce his name? I can't pronounce his name. I'll let you bungle it, not me. Nikita Tyukalo? Tyukalo. Let's just call him Nikita. Tykalo. Okay, let's just call him Nikki T. Which sounds better, actually, for what he's allegedly done.
Sounds more on the money.
Yeah. All right, so Nikki T, here's what the investigation says. Bellevue Police Department allege that adult content operation was happening out of a mansion in Bellevue. The investigation began last fall. Bellevue Police received numerous complaints and calls to 911 from neighbors. The property hosted large parties. I've seen videos in the various news stories. Wild house parties.
Yeah.
Just people it looked like a Diddy white party. Well, like the pictures you see of a white party.
It's stuff of a Hollywood movie.
Yes.
Of kids taking over a house.
It looks like, right? Did you ever see a movie called Project X?
Yes.
It looks exactly like
Maybe
Project X.
Maybe it's where the guy got the idea.
Except with prostitutes, possibly.
They've been calling the police to this house for over a year with complaints to this.
Can you imagine how
a year
angry the neighbors would be?
Imagine how, if I'm a parent, the allegations, there's 4 counts of human trafficking.
Yeah.
Because allegedly this 21-year-old man would lure underage women, children, to this house to work on OnlyFans accounts.
Yep.
With promises of big money for them, travel for them. Except that he governed all the control over these accounts and literally forced these children to work 10-hour shifts in front of live sex cams.
According to these charging documents, investigators interviewed at least 7 women who describe a hierarchy involving Nikki T and multiple associates operating under the name Nova Talent Management. Prosecutors allege women were recruited to create content, live stream for hours each day, and surrender control of accounts that generated substantial revenue. This is all from Como News. They talked to one woman who said her account generated $230,000 in revenue over 1 year, but she never received any of the money, was denied access to the account. And multiple women told investigators they were assaulted, strangled, dragged by their hair, restrained, threatened with firearms, and pressured to continue creating content against their wishes.
Supplied Adderall to keep going hour after hour after hour.
Just like crazy allegations.
How is a year's worth of the police? There was a month-long investigation by the Bellevue Police Department that led to this raid and these charges.
Yeah, like a SWAT team.
Yeah.
On June 4th, arrested this guy, searched his home, seized all this stuff: 300 cell phones, 50 laptops, financial records, a McLaren like supercar.
Yeah.
He's 21 years old. But your question, what were you going to say?
It has to take you a month investigation to come to this guy's door. What kind of suffering and what kind of abuse went on for that? It would take, I don't know. I'm not a cop, but it'd probably take me about 5 minutes sitting across the street from this place to realize that a couple hundred teenagers rolling in and out of this house probably was a situation I'd want to get, I don't know, a warrant from a judge. That's maybe probable cause. Go in and take a look what the hell's going on.
I do agree with you, but I will say this. You want an open and shut case on something like this? Like you want so much evidence that it's just a complete slam dunk.
I appreciate that. It's a common sense way to look at this thing because I'm looking at this as a guy who raised kids. You've got 4 kids.
Of course.
There are videos of parents dropping their kids off.
That's the scary part. Parents were totally unaware of this. They would drop their kids off at the front. And when you look at the pictures of the house, number one, you don't think Bellevue Party House is like Diddy house, prostitution den, whatever it was.
This is a multi-million-dollar home.
Yes.
That this was taking place in. This wasn't a tenement. This wasn't a crack house.
No, it's beautiful.
It's, yeah.
Also.
And you maybe have a false sense of security as a parent that you're dropping off your kid in a nice house in a nice neighborhood.
Who's renting this house out, and how are they not getting reports on this stuff? If you have 100 calls and you have neighbors who are saying that all these DUI arrests are happening, underage people being, pictured with drug or with alcohol and all this different stuff, videos being posted online. Can you imagine being the guy who owns a house, renting it out?
I imagine there's a lot of money changed hands to make these little problems go away along the route of this year-long endeavor.
Maybe.
I mean, I can only imagine this guy's raking in cash. One account, they say the girl generated $250,000 alone.
Just for one girl.
For one girl.
Yeah, it's
we don't
crazy.
know how many people were subjected to this guy's actions.
Yeah.
I mean, money can cure a lot of problems.
It does. It certainly can.
When you talk about a landlord who rents to a 21-year-old.
King County Superior Court is where this guy will see his next arraignment, or see his arraignment on June 10th, which is, what is that? That's tomorrow. 8:30 a.m. So we can give you more details when we know more about it. We'll see what happens.
$5 million bail.
$5 million bail. Yeah, it's. We have a story later that we're going to do about another bail case.
Yeah.
Involving very different circumstances and very confusing to me. I don't understand it. Is that next? Are we doing that next? No, we're doing cell phone ban next.
Well, the governor and the state superintendent of schools are talking to the story in the Times this morning. They're proposing a statewide ban on cell phones in all schools K through 12.
Yeah.
All public schools.
All right. We'll chat about that. A lot of other stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. we'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Andre. Andre, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I were going to get married, and we wanted to combine our insurance for both home and auto.
Were they able to save you any money?
The money they quoted us was actually the same as what we were paying separately. However, the coverage that we received was immensely greater than what we were previously receiving. It's quite scary how unprotected we were with our previous coverage. Under First Mark, I'd probably say we doubled the coverage that we had. It was a huge deal.
What would you tell others they can expect when they make that call to First Mark?
Take the 15-minute phone call. It's totally free. It's not going to cost me a thing. And the very least that could happen is just gain a better understanding. The best that could happen is it could either save money or get much better coverage, which is exactly what happened.
Andre did it. My family did it. You got to do it. And it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. We have an update on an Apache helicopter that went down in the Strait of Hormuz. President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social saying Iran shot it down. The two service members on board the helicopter were able to be rescued by the United States. We get the latest from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The president posted on social media that the two pilots involved were safe and uninjured, but he now says that the United States, quote, must of necessity respond to this attack. He does not get specific in his social media post, and the White House hasn't responded to our questions about this, about what he might do now against Iran because of this takedown of the helicopter.
A Newcastle, Washington man is heading to federal prison for 5 years for helping overseas scammers launder nearly $100 million. Prosecutors say the 47-year-old set up dozens of bank accounts to funnel money from victims who thought they were investing in oil and gas storage overseas. Power outages are popping up around our region. We're hearing wind gusts are taking down tree limbs. 4,000 customers in North Seattle are offline, and about 6,000 homes and businesses are out of power in Kent. And our closing bell report. Just in time for the World Cup, a big city next-gen upgrade that advocates say may help boost tourism. More from downtown with KIRO News Radio's Corwin Haig.
So it opens up to a suite of applications.
A demonstration from Ike Smart City, the company that makes these 8-foot-tall interactive kiosks.
Eat and drink icon, it will bring up a list.
The kiosks offer visitors or locals information on dining, nearby attractions, transit options, and it will even take a selfie and send it to your phone. As for the timing of this rollout, John Scholes with the Downtown Seattle Association says it's just good luck.
We did not propose this because we were hosting the World Cup. We proposed this before we knew we were going to host the World Cup.
Eventually, there will be 50 of these kiosks all over town. In downtown Seattle, Corwin Haig, KIRO News Radio.
The Dow is up 0.17%, but everything else is mostly down. S&P 500 down 0.26%, NASDAQ down 0.97%. Now let's check in with Nate. He's got your traffic every day.
Thanks, Jillian. Let's see. This report brought to us by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. South 5 heading into Seattle. Still crowded from Lake City Way to the Convention Center. Gets pretty thick there at 50th. Just under a 25-minute drive between Linwood and downtown. North 5, we're looking good. Again, we've got the Ship Canal Bridge, all lanes back open, so really no longer any backups that we used to see at this time. South 405, heavy heading through Factoria. You'll clear out at Coal Creek Parkway. In Tacoma, State Route 509, just north of the Puyallup River Bridge. The left lanes remain blocked in both directions as crews are working on this semi that lost its trailer. And in Bonnie Lake, I'm seeing big backups on State Route 410 approaching Main Street there in downtown. Not seeing any blocking problems. This might be roadwork related. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors has given the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12 months free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
A mix of showers and sun breaks, and of course that breezy weather continues throughout this afternoon. Tomorrow mainly dry with a high of 66. It's 63 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. A couple of stories here. These both have to do with the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Chris Reichdahl. The first one is completely common sense and should have been done already, but they're finally doing it, so high five. And then the second one, I don't understand what he has to do with this, but we will chat about that as well. The first one, cell phone ban. So Washington Governor Bob Ferguson and then Chris Reichdahl, who we just said a second ago, they are now going to be working together for a new policy with cell phones in the state. And it has a clever name, which I forgot. Do you know what it is, Spike? Is it
Away for the Day?
Away for the Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like the mayor's office, Away for the Day.
Away for the...
Yeah, that's a policy I want her to undertake as well for the remainder of her term.
Better than her previous motto, which is just bye.
Bye, away for the day. No, the it's funny. The governor has said he's going to use his bully pulpit to address this issue from a statewide perspective. We're talking about a cell phone ban from K through 12 Seattle and Washington public schools.
Yes.
Because right now we're operating under a situation where different school districts.
Yeah, there's no uniform policy across the state.
A lot of different policies, a lot of different school districts have various variations on cell phone bans in school. The governor has said, look, the results are in. The studies have been done. We don't need any more studies to know that the distraction factor of kids using phones in school, the mental health intrusion to kids.
Oh, it's the worst.
The bullying. The results are in.
You know what? We talk about, so I was at, we were at this end of the year school gathering at my, at 3 of my sons go to the same elementary school right now. And they had this end of the year, like fun thing that they were, like a big party, basically. Yeah. All this outdoor games set up, all this stuff. And we were chatting with one of the parents, and, you know, my oldest is heading into middle school next year. He's out, he's done with elementary school, so it's kind of a new,
it's a whole new world for him.
Yeah. And so one of his good friends, we were talking with his mom, and my wife and I were chatting with his mom, and all of us were kind of lamenting what's the pressure's going to be like now as they get into middle school with cell phones.
What's next? Yeah. Yes.
Because it's easier in the elementary school years to just be like, hey, you guys are in elementary school. Hard no, can't have phones. Although many do, which I'm always shocked by. But I see kids all the time walking around neighborhoods, you know, holding their cell phones. And I'm not exactly sure the ages because I can't really tell ages of kids anymore.
Well, middle school.
Yeah.
You got a kid that's 4'3" standing next to a kid that's 6'2".
Yeah.
They're in the
with
same
a beard.
grade. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh.
So cell phones are going to be a bigger part of the discussion. And we were all like, man, we do not like the prospect of them just being surrounded by people with phones, particularly when it comes to like just nastiness and kind of the stuff that happens in middle school. Like what was middle school? So you have now graduated 2 kids beyond school age.
All my kids are done. My youngest graduated from college finally.
Did you find what grade did you find was the most like? Because according to my wife, the most difficult time for at least for her was just like the cattiness that like we played that Mean Girl clip earlier, like the Mean Girl stuff that happened in middle school. She said was kind of beyond.
Yeah, middle school is where you learn who you are as an individual, where you start finding cliques and groups to hang in, where you find your identity.
It's like a lot
of options,
a lot happening,
a lot going on, and social media intrusion, technological intrusions into a kid's life in every aspect have just thrown gasoline on that fire. That fire's always been an element of growing up and maturing, and families dealing with kids. And when you leave the elementary school arena, where you're right, it's easier to keep a lid on.
Yeah, it's like
the world getting into your kid's life. Middle school, it's a whole new beast.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know.
No, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We're doing everything we can to stave that off. So we're no phones.
The cliques help, or the cliques make it harder for a kid, and the phones make it harder with regard to cliques. You don't have to just be popular in your school anymore. You got to be popular in the whole planet. You're getting judged by total strangers now because of social media.
The other thing too is, when I was a kid, when you were a kid, if you had somebody you didn't like, or they didn't like you, or you had problems with at school, generally, unless they lived in your neighborhood, you would leave that behind at school.
Yes.
And now it can follow you 24 hours a day.
Yep, into your room.
Into your room.
You bet.
With these stupid phones.
Yeah.
So now this cell phone ban, I think this is a good thing. I'm happy they're doing it.
The governor's going to make a key priority in next year's legislative session. Superintendent Chris Reichdahl says, we've been on this for a long time. We know no more studying needs to be done. We know what's best for the students of Washington.
This feels like they're leading from behind, though. Many school districts have already instituted cell phone policies. They've restricted access. We've talked about them many times. We've praised them, like Seattle Public Schools. We've praised Seattle Public Schools, even though theirs doesn't go far enough.
And it slacks up when you get to the high school level.
Yeah.
It's all, you got to be in a hallway to use your phone. You got to be at lunch to use your phone.
Yeah. So I'm glad they're doing it.
But they'll be you're talking about leading from behind. They'll become the 40th state in America and the District of Columbia to have a statewide.
What took so long? Welcome to the party, pal. That's what I would say to Reichdahl. Did you see this other story about Reichdahl, which I found very confusing? Reichdahl, as part of his job as superintendent of public instruction, he sits on a board of people who represent schools as beneficiaries of some of the timber sales that happened in our state. Did you see the story? Did you have a chance?
I haven't had a chance to overlook it yet.
Let me give you some of the details on this. It's kind of crazy. So he's on this. He's part of the Natural Resources Board, and basically what he does is he sits on
for the
state of Washington.
Okay.
He sits on this board, and in the past, what superintendents would do, and I assume he himself, because he has been it for a while. In the past, when the Natural Resources Department, the State Natural Resource Department, would come to the board and say, here's because Washington has one of the largest tree crops in the nation. We're known for
we're the evergreen state.
We're the evergreen state.
For a reason. It's
yes.
not just a clever name.
And as much as people want to be, friendly to the environment, and that's all good, it is also an invaluable resource. Not just because it's cool to have nature, but it's also cool because you can actually grow these things. Trees grow.
It's a commodity, and part of the resource benefits the school's budget.
Yep, and then the money gets sold, and
so Reichdahl sits on that board because he wants to make sure that the environmental cases don't have an overbearing rule on the forestry industry, because that dictates how much money and resources the schools get.
Well,
am I following along?
He's doing the opposite. He's actually trying to stop them from selling these trees, according to the Seattle Times. The Seattle Times editorial board wrote a piece that basically says he needs to, here's what the headline is: Washington State Schools chiefs should leave forestry to the experts. And they detail, listen to this, case in point, they say, in December, Reichdahl tried to cancel the sale. Are we already on break? Oh, this is a great story. People should hear it. Can we come back to this?
Sure, absolutely.
Because Reichdahl needs to just sit down, shut up, in my opinion, and do what he's supposed to. I'll tell you about it when we come back. Yes. All right. We'll be right back. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Aegis Living. I told you recently my aunt had surgery, and it's kind of surgery they do these days. They send you home the next day. She had some recuperating to do, and we weren't sure if we were ready as a family to give her the kind of care and attention and that she deserved. So we called our friends at Aegis Living and took advantage of respite care. Those are short-term stays, 2 weeks, 2 days, where your loved one can benefit from 24/7 medical care as long as all the amenities that Aegis Living has to offer. It might be just the solution your family's looking for. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to check it out and book an appointment, take a visit. That's aegisliving.com/spike.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you crawl.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Are you a homeowner, 62 or older, and realize that your Social Security and other income may not carry you through your retirement years? Have you ever thought about a reverse mortgage? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at Tila Mortgage, a local company serving Washington residents for 30 years. And if you want to know how a reverse mortgage works or have questions like, are reverse mortgages safe? Will I still own my home? Or do I really have the option of not making monthly mortgage payments? Call Tila for a no-pressure conversation. They'll answer your questions with personalized recommendations and loan options that can safely help you improve your monthly cash flow, increase your available income, pay off debt, or make home improvements. Call Tila today. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Are you finding it hard to stay cool in your home during hot weather? The issue is likely your window's poor quality and lack of heat deflecting technology. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and come with high-performance Sun Matrix glass, which can help keep the summer heat out. Combined with our Leak Armor installation, your comfort will be secured for a lifetime. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Before the break, we were talking about Chris Reichdahl, who is part of doing something I like, which is rare actually for Chris Reichdahl, but he's part of a Way for the Day cell phone ban that he and Bob Ferguson want to do in the next coming year. I think was it 26, 27?
Going to pitch it in next year's legislative session. Yeah.
I think they're going to try to put all the phones away so nobody can look up the unconstitutional income tax. That's my secret guess of whether they're actually doing this. But whatever, we'll take the win. Here is the other thing that Chris Reichdahl is part of, which I don't understand this, and Seattle Times called him out for this. In a rare Seattle Times calling out of a local state official, they said, here's the headline, Washington State Schools Chief should leave forestry to the experts. Quick recap, Chris Reichdahl, because he is the head of Washington State Schools, he sits on the state's Natural Resources Board, and he has a vote on the Natural Resources Board. The Natural Resources Board gets basically presented to from the Natural Resources Department, who's in charge of all the forestry and things like that.
Right.
Harvesting the trees in Washington State.
Managing that resource for sale and harvesting.
Which then gets sold, and some of that money then makes its way to local school districts.
That's why Reichdahl has a seat on this board.
So that's why Reichdahl has a seat on the thing. They detail something that happened in December, and this is apparently a growing trend with him, but I'm going to read you from the Seattle Times piece, and then we can chat about it. In December, Reichdahl tried to cancel the sale of a unit of the Hold On timber sale near Hoodsport because he suspected that there were 100-year-old trees to save. Quote, "We're hollowing out the possibility of future old growth," he said at the meeting. Never mind, Public Lands Commissioner Dave Upthegrove, a fellow board member, has already cordoned off 77,000 acres of the older forest Reichdahl wants to protect. And half of state forest land in western Washington is already under conservation. Reichdahl's opinion, seemingly based on the sole factor of stand age, ignores the DNR experts' thorough vetting. At hold, DNR removed more than a third of the sale of trees to protect wildlife, water quality, and the largest diameter trees. Unlike Reichdahl, they spend time at each site and are experts in the field. If you have any questions about how diligent they are here, I'm going to read you the process that they go through before they even present this Natural Resources Board with a vote on whether or not to clear some of these trees. Okay. Here's what they do. The planning process for each DNR timber sale takes anywhere from between 2 to 4 years to evaluate a potential logging site. Field foresters then spend another half year or so surveying and laying out the sale, addressing federal and state laws to protect endangered species habitat, riparian areas, and more. That's followed by another half year of state environmental reviews and permitting. Upwards of 20 DNR staff are involved and can include forest ecologists, geologists, biologists, and archaeologists, all before the Board of Natural Resources sees the results of that work. And then you have a guy like Reichdahl who hears the word 100 and goes, "That's not good. Don't do that."
And does he have veto power on the sale sitting on the board?
Well,
That's
they
the
need
story?
a certain amount of votes to move forward with things. And Reichdahl, as the head of public schools, gets a say in some of these things.
And he's taking money out of school districts by vetoing these sales, which have been fully vetted, fully researched by experts in
a lot of people, yes,
numerous fields.
And it's not just people like your humble radio host who find it annoying. Dan Brown, who is a fellow board member and director for the University of Washington School of Environmental and Forest Services, called out Reichdahl, according to Seattle Times, sale by sale approach as reckless at a recent meeting in January. And I would reiterate what Seattle Times is saying, which is like, what is he getting involved in this for? Just do what you do, sit on the board, pass the thing. If they come to you with all this information, and in the past, traditionally you've said, that sounds great, I trust you guys. why is he injecting, slowing down the process, forcing them to do reevaluations that can take years?
I can't fathom why he feels he knows more than a field of experts.
Yes.
I mean, numerous people who have spent, you've laid out the criteria, years of research.
Listen, it's
environmental studies, ecological studies with regard to endangered species.
It's not even like
everything.
It's the federal government who he would probably have some fear tactics about, and he would say, oh, we got to be careful about the Trump administration coming in and cutting trees down.
Right, yeah.
That's not what's happening. This is local Washington. These are people who have had these jobs for a long time.
Experts in their field dedicated their life to knowing to do the right thing.
Now,
and we're about to face the lowest, record low number of revenue generated by forestry in this state.
Yep. According to Seattle Times, around this century's lowest revenue year ever. This century's lowest ever, at just 60% of the logging that was expected, according to the American Forest Resource Council.
How many times did Chris Reichdahl complain about the sale that's in front of the board?
Here's what would be nice. It's a good question. I don't know. But here's what would be nice. He should focus on Washington schools.
And
he should
say
focus
thank you for the money.
He should say thank you for the money, but he should also just focus on making sure that education is top notch, that people are able to compete fairly in things. He should also make sure that attendance is not dropping off. Washington State school attendance is down like 5% since 2019. People are making other choices because they don't think that the education they're getting in the public schools is up to snuff.
Well, test results are down.
That's what he should be focusing on instead of forestry stuff, which he doesn't know anything about.
Good on the Seattle Times.
Good on Seattle Times.
His opinion board, op-ed, right? The editorial board.
Yep. Okay. Some fun facts about the forestry in our state. You may not realize this, but Washington State, 10% of forestry-related jobs are classified as green jobs compared to just 3% of Washington's overall workforce.
Wow, great.
Which is interesting. And listen to this. This is kind of cool. Washington plants 52 million new trees per year, and the forest is currently growing at twice the rate of harvest. So, pretty great.
These folks know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Peter Orr, who's part of that March for Peace.
Neighborhood activist.
Neighborhood activist. They want to see safer streets. They want to make sure we get these pimps out of here. He's going to join us next live on the show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots?
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast.
Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. President Trump says out of necessity, the U.S. must respond to the downing of a U.S. Army Apache helicopter this morning. He blames Iran. From the White House, ABC's Karen Travers.
He does not get specific in his social media post, and the White House hasn't responded to our questions about this, about what he might do now.
The two crew were rescued near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran says the best way for foreign forces near the strait to reduce their risk is for them to leave. None of this seems to be worrying the oil markets. Crude fell another 3%. The Dow and S&P were flat today. NASDAQ down 1%. A $70 billion immigration bill passes a key vote in Congress after a brief revolt from hardliners. The verdict guilty for a young Texas man, Carmelo Anthony, who claimed he acted in self-defense when he fatally stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet. He now faces up to life in prison. This is ABC News. Demonstrations in Kenya near a military base where the U.S. plans to build an Ebola quarantine center for Americans. White House border czar Tom Homan says that immigration agents will next surge into New York City, but complains the state is blocking federal agents from conducting operations.
We got Rikers Island in New York City. I had an agreement with Mayor Adams to get back into Rikers Island. Now, if you truly believe we have a right to arrest and deport criminals, they're in the country illegally, then why am I locked out of Rikers Island? Why do they keep releasing them to the street?
Of course, there is a new mayor now in New York. Louisiana State Police pulled over a driver for erratic driving who ran from them, then jumped off the elevated portion of Interstate 310 into a swamp with alligators, which bit him on both arms. Victor Rivas was taken to a hospital and booked for driving while impaired. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Power outages scattering across our region. We'll give you an update on that. But first, Nate Connors has your KIRO News Radio traffic.
Thank you, Julie. And this one brought to you by Seattle Sports. South 5 heading into Seattle. It's crowded at Lake City Way to the West Seattle Bridge now. It gets pretty thick at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge down to Mercer. All added up, Linwood to Seattle's at 25 minutes. Now, North 5, we're starting to get crowded before the West Seattle Bridge past I-90. We're seeing backups at the First Avenue South Bridge from a recent marine crossing. Heavier southbound on Marginal Way. Northbound traffic isn't too bad. South 405 is heavy through Factoria. At Coal Creek Parkway, it starts to thin out for you. Bellevue to Renton's at 20 minutes. And in Everett, eastbound 526, we're packed, leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5. And North 5 is now crowded between 526 and Highway 2. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. About 15,000 homes and businesses scattered throughout our region are out of power. High winds, wind gusts have been whipping through our region, and they're high enough to to take some limbs off of trees, especially those that have been saturated with rain over the last few days. These outages have been quick fixes. Some of the biggest are in Kent, Newcastle, and of course on the peninsula. And we'll keep you updated with those numbers. Washington students could soon be saying goodbye to cell phones during class and even at lunchtime. Governor Bob Ferguson and State Superintendent Chris Raikdahl are calling for a statewide ban on student phone use from bell to bell.
In our schools, digital distractions are causing kids to miss what's written on the whiteboard. They're focusing more on memes than on math.
Ferguson says the early announcement is intended to build a coalition to make a compelling case to the legislature next session. And work continues to launch an inspector general office in King County. This comes after audits revealed fraud and misplaced money in the multi-millions at 2 county agencies. Councilmember Claudia Balducci says responding to complaints is not enough.
I want to call out Councilmember Dunn and myself started saying over and over again for a very long time, when are we going to look at all the contracts? Because it should be somebody's job to look at all of them.
Balducci also said more work is needed to clarify the roles between the auditor, ombuds, and newly formed inspector general. The FIFA World Cup is less than a week away, with matches running June 15th through July 6th in Seattle. On the Jean Ursula Show, Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes asked locals for patience and planning. Road closures will begin hours before kickoff, and car traffic around what will be known as Seattle Stadium will be tightly restricted, creating a pedestrian bubble in what Homeland Security has designated a SEER 2 event.
That's just a designation from Homeland Security about the seriousness and the opportunity for violence and threats.
Barnes says about 400 officers will be deployed on each match day. SeaTac Airport is changing its popular Spot Saver service heading into the busy summer stretch. On busiest days, it won't be available between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Instead, it's being added to the 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. early bird slot. Now we're going to check your weather. And like I said, gusty winds this afternoon, sun breaks amidst some of those showers we've had today. Tomorrow, mainly dry, high of 66 and 70s possible by Thursday. It's 63 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left with us. Hold tight. It's going to be a good hour. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're very, very pleased to have on. We're going to start right now with a guest, a local guy who's part of a neighborhood group who is recently in the news for marching to try to have a safer neighborhood, something that any of us would do and expect. Peter Orr joins us now. Peter, welcome to the show. Thank you for making the time.
All right, thanks for having me.
We're very pleased to have you. Peter, tell the audience a little bit about yourself. You're from the Aurora area, is that right?
Yeah, I've lived about a block and a half west of Aurora for 16 years now.
Okay. Your neighborhood has been in the news lately because we've had these pimp wars that people have been talking about. You have been
saying it out loud.
Yes, you have been experiencing it firsthand. Tell us, you've lived there, you said, for 16 years, same house?
Yep.
What has been the change from when you first moved to that area 16 years ago to what you're seeing on a daily basis now? Can you describe that a little bit for the audience?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it's one of those things that's like, it happens so like slowly that people now are like, what? Didn't it always used to be this way? But no, it didn't. There's always been prostitution on Aurora. People who've been here since the 60s will tell you that. But it used to take place like in the old motels and things that were run down on the side of the road. Over time, they've been shut down because there's so much criminal activity at them that they were designated nuisance properties. SPD came in and said, you got to shut it down. And we're left with fewer of those. But the prostitution didn't stop because it's so dang lucrative. It just spilled out into our streets. And so nowadays, versus when we moved into the neighborhood, I don't really remember seeing prostitutes out during the day, but over the last, 5 years, particularly since they've repealed the no loitering law, it's been all hours of the day. You'll see prostitutes up and down Aurora Avenue, and then at night, it will erupt in pimp wars because they're fighting over their turf. It's the number 2 spot in the nation for prostitution, Aurora Avenue.
And for human trafficking as well,
Human trafficking. And maybe I should phrase it as human trafficking. But that's honestly the big concern here, because there's a difference between, when you say prostitution, that could be all sorts of people that are mixed up in that. It could be people doing it of their own free will, needing to pay the bills. But more often than not, I'd say it's human trafficking and pimps benefiting off these girls as young as 14.
In both cases, it's illegal. You're not allowed to prostitute yourself, and you're certainly not allowed to human traffic.
And Peter, you mentioned like 4 or 5 years ago, you saw this uptick in its intrusion into your neighborhood, the blocks adjacent to Aurora. They took away the loitering laws, the John laws, where your license plates would be recorded and you could be issued fines, and they sent letters home, shame letters home to families. And they also took away those nuisance property motels, but none of that addressed the crime involved, the institution of prostitution and the pimp wars, which have now been subjected into your neighborhood. You guys have been complaining for a couple years to the city because you've had this horrific development, the destruction of your neighborhood. You've been complaining to the city for a couple years with no response, and just kind of move this along. You guys very publicly put barricades up on the streets in your neighborhood to stop the bullets from flying into your homes at all hours of the night, put your kids and your family's lives at risk. And that's what finally got the city's attention, because that's what they wouldn't tolerate.
Yeah. It's funny. A phrase that has been coming to my mind throughout this whole last month is, the only thing that evil needs to succeed is for good men to do nothing, good people to do nothing.
Yeah.
And so the neighbors said, we got to do something. And it ended up getting the attention that was needed for City Hall to react. It's still, I understand the wheels of government turn slowly, blah, blah, blah. But we got to start turning.
It doesn't, but that's the part that's really frustrating, because it can't turn slowly for you guys. You guys have to live there every day.
Yeah.
Like you have, do you have kids, Peter?
Yeah, I've got 2 kids in elementary school.
Okay, so I do as well. I have 3 kids in elementary school, and then I also have a 2-year-old. So someday he'll be in elementary school as well.
I don't know exactly where you live, but did you pick up a bullet casing on your way to the school bus this morning?
That's what I was going to ask you. No, I did not. And
my 11-year-old found one.
Your 11-year-old found one?
Yeah.
What is
in
that?
the alley, walking to the bus stop.
Let me ask you that as a parent, like, we're all, in best case scenario, if you live in a safe neighborhood where you're not worried about your kid being run over by people driving too quick or
fleeing gunfire
or anything. We're all worried as parents, just because that's your natural disposition as a parent if you love your kids. Even more so if you have pimp wars that are happening. What's it like having that environment around you all the time, and you're begging the city to respond to this, and they're not doing anything about it, and then they respond to you by tearing out the vigilante planter boxes you guys put up that actually were effective, and then they say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to add some speed bumps, and we're also going to commission a study. You just want to tear your eyes out because these people are just driving you crazy. I'm sorry to... Go ahead. What's your feeling like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you get it. It's like, have you ever been on one of those automated chats on the side of a website that's like, are you looking for this?
Yes.
Like, that's exactly what it feels like. It's like, I'm looking for stopping bullets coming into my house, please. Oh, are you looking for traffic revision? No, we're trying to stop the bullets. And so it's just, this is how it feels. And meanwhile, it's like survival mode. Because the pimps don't give us a schedule of when they're going to be having their wars in our neighborhood. And so, it'll flare up for a week, and then it'll be gone, and you'll sort of feel this, like, you're gaslit, like, oh, did it really happen? Is it really that bad? And then it'll come back. It comes back frequently with the good weather. That's what we've noticed.
So you're praying for rain so that the pimps stay away.
Yeah, which is ironic, because then the other night I woke up to rain on my roof, and I thought it was gunshots because that's how frequent the gunshots have been. So
I know there was a meeting in your neighborhood this last weekend. You guys had a march to draw public attention and city's governmental attention to this problem. And there were a lot of representatives that came to the meeting. The chief of police was there. Representatives from the mayor's office were there. And I know
Mayor wasn't there.
Mayor wasn't there, but that's a whole nother show. You guys presented.
No, it's this show. She's not there. She's not showing up.
We could do a whole show on that. Is my point. You guys presented a list of demands to the city and the officials that bothered to attend to your meeting. Did they take it from you, address it at all, promise to turn their attention toward that list?
Oh, man. The mayor's still studying whether traffic revisions stop bullets. So don't even get me started there. But the city council, particularly Kettle, has been a really strong voice for us. I think he's really aligning. Hollingsworth just said the other day, she's like, we got to put the barriers up. That's the least we can do for now. And then Juarez has started proposing legislation that would allow SPD to put up barriers in case of emergencies, so we don't have that circumvents the whole mayor approval thing. So there's been a little traction, but still it's around the barriers, and that's not
the answer. Yeah.
Why aren't they arresting?
They'll move a block or two in a different direction and do what they do.
Why aren't they arresting pimps? That's my question.
There's so much this. So this goes all the way up to like state level laws, right? And the county as well. County prosecutes for felonies involving human trafficking, right? So the most that the city prosecutor can do, I'm losing track of my notes, but there's some nuance there.
Sure.
And so there's a little bit of finger pointing as well. And so we've got that going on. We've also got SPD would love to do more regular patrols, but they're still recovering from a couple years ago when we were defunding the police. So we're short on the goal of how many officers we need.
Yeah, we have like shy of 900, and we should have 12, 13, 1,400 officers.
Yeah, the goal is 1,258 by the end of the year. Today, I believe at City Council, they had a presentation about where they are with that. They're about 8 officers ahead of schedule, but now they're facing a budget shortage, so they might have to hold off on hiring. That's what I took away.
Let me ask
one
you,
of the things you asked for was a mobile precinct to be stationed right up there in that neighborhood. Did they give any response to that? Because that seems like the most practical. Put a police station here.
Yeah, I haven't heard response to that yet, and it's been like 2 weeks since we brought it up at the walkabout. It seemed like there were a lot of heads nodding when that came up, but I haven't heard a peep since then.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Peter. You've been there for 16 years. You're watching as your neighborhood's turning to crap. Your kids are finding bullets on their way to school, which is just the worst visual that you can imagine. And do you ever consider just leaving the area? I mean, what's that? I know that you must have talked about that at some point. You must have contemplated, like, can we even sell this place? Can we even find someplace new to move to? Is anybody going to want to come and move into this neighborhood? Like, what's that thought process like?
Yeah. It definitely goes through your head. I think it's gone through all my neighbors' heads. But then you realize when something like this comes up and you have neighbors who are willing to put in the sweat that it takes to get the attention for the city to do something, you realize that you're part of something important that needs to continue. And to bail is to give it up to the pimps. So I couldn't live with myself, I don't think.
Here's what's interesting.
Right now. Got to give it a little more elbow.
You have a guy like Bob Kettle, who you said showed up to the march. I think Erica Evans also showed up to the march.
Yes, city attorney.
Katie Wilson was a no-show, and maybe she was opening a new portable bathroom. I don't know what she was doing. She was busy doing something, posing in front of a new tiny house village or something that cost $16,000 a piece.
Check her Instagram. You'll probably find a timestamp.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question to you is, obviously, she's a complete non-factor in this. Maybe her junior team didn't allow her to go out there because they were afraid she would say something embarrassing. I don't know. But there is a void of leadership on this, and I can't think of an issue that's more important locally to people in Seattle, of which she is the mayor. doesn't this feel like a total layup for somebody who wants to succeed her in that job? Somebody to step up and like end the pimp wars? Doesn't that seem like the simplest thing to do? A Bob Kettle, a Rob Saka, a whoever wants to step up and just say, hey, you know what? We're going to put an end to this. We're going to draw all the attention we need to it. It's as simple as just stopping it. I don't understand what's taking so long. Why do they need to read a study for 2 weeks when you know that the pimps are out? If they're human trafficking, which I've been told is very bad, why are they not arresting those people? And if they're human trafficking children, I don't understand why those children aren't being removed from that situation and put somewhere safe and then use those to prosecute the bad guys.
It's funny, the solutions are part of the demands you listed to the city. More resources toward protecting children from human trafficking. All the things that Jake's bringing up.
I mean...
Yeah. There's a huge amount of factors that weigh in because you got city, county, state situations. Within the city itself, you've got the city council trying to give some tools to the mayor and the prosecutor to use, but then it's up to them whether or not they use it. And then you got SPD that's short-staffed. And
also taking SPD listens to the mayor. I mean, Sean Barnes' job is contingent on Katie Wilson liking him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I like Sean Barnes.
And these are all really important considerations to have. But my thing is, the merry-go-round is going. You got to jump on. You can't choose which animal you're going to ride on. You got to jump on one of them, and then we'll get it all sorted out.
Yeah.
And fine-tune things along the way. But I feel like somebody's got to make the move somewhere first. And if Kettle wanted to run, I'd more than welcome him. It seems like there's a lot of support for taking care of this situation because it's not only public violence, but there's 14-year-olds getting raped nightly on Aurora.
That's it.
That's happening.
Why don't they want? Who doesn't want to be the champion of that? Who doesn't want to step up and not only save your neighborhood from bullets flying into kids' windows, but also stop children from being abused like this?
Right. It's like we've just been lulled into sleep. Like it's been happening so long. Yeah, it's a frustrating mess. Someone's got to start.
We feel. Well, we're talking Peter Orr. He's a neighborhood organizer in North Seattle, off Aurora. I know the site of this latest outrage of violence and pimp wars. Peter, what's next? What can you guys expect next? Have you been given any kind of timeline for a response? Have you guys planned any activities in the near future to keep this issue front and center in people's attention?
So a group of neighbors are going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow night. This whole March thing, we had to recover from a little bit.
Sure.
We were supposed to hear back about the traffic barrier situation last Friday and still haven't heard from the mayor. I was told by her aide that it was going to be last Friday. They were going to make a decision. And here we are.
I may suggest a barricade outside the driveway for the mayor's office, but I'm not suggesting that. But get their attention.
Can I ask you a question, Peter? We're almost out of time here, but just connecting as dads of young kids, how do you explain that when you told the story about? I also have an 11-year-old. How do you explain to your 11-year-old who picks up a bullet what this is, and how do you explain what your kids must be seeing on the daily when you see I mean, I've seen news stories and pictures of the prostitutes walking around. It's not subtle. So how are you explaining that to your kids?
Well, here's the thing we do as parents at the bus stop. We compare notes, and we've mostly been telling the younger kids there must be a pool around somewhere. Everyone's in their swimsuit. That's what you try to do. I did find there is actually a pool nearby, so I wasn't completely lying.
I love you, buddy.
But now, 11 and 9, they're starting to get educated toward the end of elementary school about reproduction and that sort of a thing. And so we're like, okay, gloves off, guys. Here's what's going on, and we can be part of trying to make the solution happen. This isn't right. It's in our own backyard here, and be the change you want to see, right?
But we heard a story about a parent who had to actually have shooting drills with their family. Was that you that said that, or is it different?
It wasn't me. It was one of the neighbors.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten into that so much just because the layout of our house, I feel fairly protected.
Okay.
At night, if we're all where we're supposed to be. So there's that. But I also can't just go to bed and feel great that everyone in our house is protected. It's everybody in our school community, everybody down the street. I woke up to the worst news ever come on, we got to fix it before it happens.
Peter, finally, before we leave, I know that the mayor's office, as people who listen to this show, in as much as you have been unable maybe to get a direct contact with them and a response, what message do you want to send to city leadership or the mayor's office, or any direct messages you want to send to them? We'd like to give you that opportunity here.
Oh, man. It's hard to put it in a soundbite. I would say that presence means a lot. When you show up, I know your time and your availability is precious. When you show up for a moment, it speaks volumes. And when you don't show up, it speaks just as much. Also, the same goes for police presence. So if you could do a little more of that, I think that would be helpful.
All right, that's Peter Orr. We'll leave it there. Well said.
But thank you much for your time, Peter. We appreciate it, man. I know it's an important issue.
God bless you and your family, and I hope this gets resolved, and I hope you guys stay safe, truly.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure, man.
That's Peter Orr, Aurora neighborhood organizer of that recent march, and man, I feel for that guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a tough place for a family to be in. And you called him, man. How do you move? How do you even move? How do you sell that house?
How do you move forward?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be a change in leadership. If they're not willing to do anything about it, then fire them.
You're here.
All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvement projects that I got to tackle, and I have very little time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van, they've got me covered. Of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And it comes down to two things. They have the best product, which is backed by a lifetime warranty. And they have exceptional customer service, which they call the Valentine Experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified home buyers can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. So call 206 Roofing, schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
Upgrade your home with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Be among the first 40 June projects to sign up for 5 or more installed windows and receive a free patio door. Plus, enjoy 12 months no interest, no payments financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at K2VisionRLE.com.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. President Donald Trump says it was Iran that shot down a military helicopter in the Strait of Hormuz. Both pilots were rescued. On Truth Social, he's vowing some sort of response, but will not say what. This comes just days after Iran and Israel traded intense weekend missile fire and questions about how close a peace deal might actually be. King County prosecutors have charged a 13-year-old boy with first-degree manslaughter and unlawful possession of a firearm in the death of his 17-year-old cousin in Seattle. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has these details that have just emerged in the newsroom.
Court documents say the victim was found with a gunshot wound to the head in a South Seattle apartment May 29th. Investigators recovered a .45 caliber handgun and a shell casing nearby. The death was initially thought to be a suicide, but according to court documents, the boy admitted to his mother that the gun went off while he was holding it and struck his cousin. Here's Casey McNerney with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
These cases are hard, most of all on the families involved, but also for the police investigators and the prosecutors who handle the case.
The boy is expected back in court Wednesday afternoon to enter a plea. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Weeks after the successful crewed lunar flyby by Artemis 2, NASA revealed the astronauts for the next Artemis mission, Artemis 3, planned for 2027. It's going to have 3 Americans and an Italian astronaut from the European Astronaut Corps for the European Space Agency. They're going to train over the next year before boarding the Orion spacecraft. That team includes NASA astronaut and Commander Randy Bresnik, ESA astronaut and pilot Luca Parmitano of Italy, and NASA astronauts and mission specialists Frank Rubio and Andre Douglas. Boeing is celebrating a major milestone with one of its biggest customers.
100 years from today.
American Airlines has taken delivery of its 100th 737 MAX jet during the carrier's 100th anniversary year. About 13,000 people are still out of power as gusty winds take down tree limbs. The outages are scattered, with the largest near Kent, Port Orchard, east of Redmond, and near Monroe. Puget Sound Energy and Snohomish PUD are on the case, with crews trying to get power back on as quickly as possible. Now we're going to check KIRO News Radio real-time traffic with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Jillian. A wind advisory, as a matter of fact, is in effect at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge this afternoon, and windy conditions are bringing trees down across the region as well. The latest is out in Belfair, State Route 3 near Union River Road. Trees are blocking State Route 3 in both directions. You've got a detour set up right now. And ST's 1 and 2 lines are experiencing delays due to power outages. Up in Bonnie Lake, both directions of 410 are all jam-packed this afternoon, approaching Main Street there in downtown. Eastbound is heaviest. You're backed up to the bottom of the hill at 166th. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're now bumper to bumper at Ravenna Boulevard to I-90, Linwood to Seattle. We're up to a half-hour commute. North 5 is heavy from the Michigan Curve past I-90. And South 405, you're bumper to bumper from Southeast 8th and Bellevue through Cold Creek Parkway. Then things start to thin out for you. Bellevue to Renton, plan on 25 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Going to continue that gusty weather through the late afternoon. High of 62 today, and we're drying out overnight to mainly dry on Wednesday. High of 66, then climbing into the low 70s with mostly sunny weather by Thursday. It's 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Boy, this next story, I really took this one personal, Spike. I don't know if you had the same reaction. This is a Costco story. Headline, Costco.
This the gas truck one story?
Not the gas truck story.
Because that one hit me right in the jimmies.
All the gas people are buying?
I have found myself sitting, Costco gas, thank goodness for Costco gas.
Yeah.
My membership has paid for itself in the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
They're dropping multiple tanks a day.
They're having like their biggest gas sale in a long time.
The country's feeling it. Yeah.
People
thank
want
goodness
as cheap of gas as they can get.
Absolutely. And half the people that go to get Costco gas make a stop in the store.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, if you're nearby, you can get a $1.50 hot dog and a soda. Come on. Come on.
In this economy, thank you.
Come on.
You know what I love? A nice $5 chicken.
Who doesn't love a $5 chicken?
In this economy? Thank you, Costco.
I'll tell you who doesn't. These two ungrateful customers in California, of course, proposing a class action lawsuit. Seattle Times has this piece. You can read about it there. Complaint filed in January. And what they're alleging, they say, is that Costco has a couple of additives in the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Explain this. One of them is a seaweed additive, and it thickens and preserves something.
Yeah, a class action lawsuit was filed in California by 2 Costco customers who said their no preservative added rotisserie chicken for $5 actually has preservatives in it. They've been committing fraud and deceiving the buying public. And they want to have a class action lawsuit to get their, 36 cents back? Only in California could you find 2 people who get a $5 chicken and have a problem with
and
the gift.
Complain about
a gift that
and
is
complain
a $5
about
chicken.
It. Here's what they want.
Here's
what they want from Costco. They want Costco to stop marketing the chicken as free of preservatives, according to the Seattle Times. And for customers in the U.S. who have purchased the product to join in the class action lawsuit, the attorneys, of course, are also seeking monetary damages, according to the story.
They've been traumatized. They put preservatives in their families' bellies.
How is it possible that you could go into a Costco and you could walk past all the rows and rows of phenomenal deals? Outdoor dining experiences, sheds.
You got it.
All sorts of great stuff. Every Mother's Day, there's a whole rack of flowers.
You bet.
Every Father's Day, there's a whole rack of
golf clubs.
Whatever they get for Father's Day.
You got it. Golf clubs, snow tires.
Sure.
What's the old man into? Booze.
And then you make your way back to the chicken, which is sitting right there next to the ribs.
Your nose brings you. You smell it. You smell it about the outdoor gardening row.
I usually eye it when I'm buying when I'm loading up on my poppy seed muffins.
Okay.
I see the chicken
right
and
next
I go, oh yeah, that's going to be good.
$5.
You always toss one in. Do you ever go into Costco and not get a $5 chicken?
No.
Even if I don't plan on eating it?
Yep.
Which I never do. I always eat it. But if I didn't even want to eat it, I'd still buy one.
I tell you, when I go in to buy my paper products there in bulk, right?
Sure.
Paper towels, What am I going to do with all these paper towels? I'm going to eat a chicken on the way home.
Wipe chicken off my face.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, did I say on the way home? Oh, jeez.
Here's what I hope the. What do you mean on the way home? You're
Nothing.
eating the chicken on the way home?
Nothing. No, not necessarily.
Just seeing Spike sitting there with a bag of chicken in his lap.
Yeah.
Just reaching down.
It comes with a little bowl, that glass dome.
That's genius, by the way. The bag. Do you have bags at yours? They have domes at yours.
We get domes at mine. Bag's great.
You have plastic?
Yeah, plastic dome, plastic bottom tray, clear shell on the top. Oh, great place to throw skin and bones.
One of those oyster things?
I mean, you get a picture in the Seattle Times. That's what we have at ours.
We have the plastic bags. We don't have those. We have a plastic bag.
See, that's hard to navigate while you drive.
It's tough to do.
I found.
So you must have like a higher class Costco or something.
I'm not one to point fingers at other neighborhoods.
Mine's have people in my neighborhood will buy a chicken in a bag.
I'm not above buying a chicken in a bag, but it's twice the price Costco charges. When I go to my fine grocer, they have chickens in a bag.
Oh, yeah.
They're literally twice the price of the Costco rotisserie chicken. And it's okay. So they put some seasoning in it.
It's not the same chicken. You get a rotisserie chicken at any other place. Mm-hmm. It's not as fat. It's not as juicy. It's not as plump.
Doesn't preserve as long.
It doesn't have as many wonderful preservatives.
It's called carrageenan is the additive that Costco adds, and they say it's seasoning. It's made of seaweed.
I don't care if it's MSG. Yeah. I love it. I want it.
And for $5, shut up. You're lucky it contains actual chicken.
When they finally get this thing to court, and I hope that if Costco doesn't win this immediately, they're trying to get it thrown out. Costco's actually requesting under the U.S. District Court of Southern California just to have it dismissed because it's ridiculous. But let's say that it's not. I hope someday they end up on the hot seat there, and I hope somebody is grilling whoever's in charge of Costco.
They have them on a spit, just slow turning, right?
No, I don't want the Costco guy to be grilling.
Oh, okay.
No, but he's sitting on the hot seat and they're questioning him, and I hope this would be his response as he looks that smug lawyer group for the people who are trying to take a class action lawsuit
Californians
against those fake. Are they even customers? I don't know. Honestly,
they probably went and bought a chicken just so they could make this case.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they saw a big opportunity there, and they said, and I'm not sure they did. Actually, that's just my allegation.
Sure.
But who would go into Costco if you're somebody who loves that place, as I do, and go in and see a chicken for $4.99 and see a villain? I see a friend.
I see a savior.
Yes, and this is what I hope the CEO of Costco does. If they ever depose him, this is what I hope he sounds like.
I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand opposed.
Maybe not the weapon.
Either way, I don't give a what you think you are entitled to.
100%.
That's great, yes.
Isn't that exactly what they should do? You want that chicken.
You ever roasted chicken,
need
son?
that chicken.
You ever stood over a grill waiting for chicken to be ready?
No, because they're so cheap.
I suggest you fire up a grill.
You can get and see how easy it is to roast it.
Otherwise, I just appreciate you say thank you.
It's nearly impossible to rotisserie a chicken as delicious as that. And if you do, it's going to be sinewy and not nearly as plump and juicy. Preservatives aside. The whole thing is ridiculous. What a stupid lawsuit.
It's a $5 chicken.
No.
It's a $5 chicken.
We're not talking about a $10 piece of chicken here.
We're not.
What's the best piece of chicken you ever have? Costco aside, what's the best piece of chicken you ever have?
I got to take it back to the chicken of my youth. Driving to the eastern shore of Maryland, which is chicken country.
Yeah.
Corn and chicken. Go by corn farm, chicken farm. Corn farm, chicken farm. You can smell the chickens 10 miles out. And you know what I'm saying? It's not in a good way.
Yeah.
But you go by this one gas station on the side of the road. Converted gas station. Old Texaco from 1920-something, right?
Not what I thought you were going to say.
No.
Gas station chicken.
No, this place is it's an old gas station. And they've got a cooker outside. They got like a conveyor belt cooker that's like 20 foot long.
They just smothering it in barbecue sauce.
And they just put it in one end and they drop and they all the way down the line. By the time it comes off the bottom end, there's a whole line of people waiting for them. They can't make them fast enough, and it's the best chicken I've ever tasted in my life.
That's phenomenal.
I mean, from a gas station.
That's pretty great.
And a sheet metal conveyor belt roaster.
That sounds pretty good.
Oh, it's the greatest.
The best we ever had. A lot of it was the experience in the company.
And maybe that was it, too. You eat in the back of a station wagon on your way to the beach.
Yeah.
Wiping your fingers on a Texaco road map. Yeah.
My wife and I were in Napa. It's the first time we'd ever gone there.
Oh.
And we went to this local winery place.
Okay.
And they had an
That's
advertisement there for a beer can chicken where they just shove a beer can up the chicken.
beer can technology, yeah.
Then you roast it, and then the beer makes its way inside.
It moistens
and
the chicken as it
boils
cooks.
over.
Yes.
It doesn't. There's no booziness to it. By the time it finishes cooking, it's all the alcohol's gone. It's just this delicious marinade. It's so good. And we had it there drinking a nice Sauv Blanc. It was the best chicken I ever had in my life. Costco's a close second.
Yeah,
but it's only $4.99. I'd go all the way from Napa for that.
I had a bottle of 7-Up washing down that gas station chicken.
There you go.
It's all about the experience.
Tell you what, you go to Costco, you get yourself, and I'm not an advertiser. If they want to advertise, I'm happy to talk to them. You get yourself a $4.99 Costco rotisserie chicken. You walk right down the aisle. You go 90 degrees to your left. You walk down past the bananas, past the apples, and what you're going to find is the Kirkland brand Sauv Blanc.
Okay.
You get that. Head out to your car. Don't drink it there. Go home. Put it on ice. Eat that chicken out of the bag.
Oh, it's the greatest.
Best night of your life.
America.
Pretty great. I hope this lawsuit fails.
Miserably.
Spectacularly. All right, we got texts coming up? We got texts coming up. Let's do that. All right, we'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Aegis Living. I've been telling you about the time my aunt had surgery just recently. She was home the next day, and we needed a little bit of help, needed a bit of guidance because my aunt needed care that we weren't qualified to give. Called my friends at Aegis Living, asked about respite care. That's a short stay, 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever your family needs. 24/7 expert care, all the amenities of Aegis Living, and the peace of mind the family just couldn't get anywhere else. See if it's right for you. Go to aegisliving.com/spike and book a visit to an Aegis Living facility near you. Take a look what they offer. Ask about respite care. It's aegisliving.com/spike.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone, because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages to get to. We're going to start with all of the shootings and stuff on Aurora. We had a fantastic guest. If you guys missed our guest at the start of this hour, go back and get the podcast. Listen to it and share it with your friends because it's an important story and we want to get as much attention to it as we can. So thank you again to Peter Orr for joining us at the top of this hour. Laura, go ahead and get going on these.
Yeah, Layla says, for God's sake, these people are taxpayers. They shouldn't deal with this. Come on, Mayor of Seattle, do something. Who is the councilman representing Aurora, and how come we never hear from him?
The two council members in this area would be Districts 5 and 6. So this would be Deborah Juarez and Dan Strauss. Yeah.
206 says, hello, longtime Seattle resident. If you're able to sneak this into your segment about Aurora Avenue, please do, because these people are public employees. You can go to Seattle websites and look up everybody's paychecks. In other words, these people are being paid over $100,000 a year to basically not do much for things like this on Aurora Avenue.
This is fun. This is actually one of my favorite pastimes. I love to look up public employee pay because they just do nothing and they get a ton of money. So Seattle City Council members start, their base salary is $140,000. $140,000. Katie Wilson, mayor of Seattle, prior to taking that job, she listed on her taxes, she made somewhere around $72,000, I think, as a campaign coordinator of something. Her pay as mayor of Seattle is around $240,000 a year. Okay. That's a big step up, and it's especially a big step up when you're not protecting the neighborhoods from the pimp wars. So that's a lot of money going out and not a lot of return on the investment. And how long is she mayor for? Is it 4 years? Is that what the term is for Sarah Mayor? It's a 4-year term. So that's a commitment of like about $1 million going to Katie Wilson. So I think she should probably do something for that money. That would be my recommendation. I get to read one. Julie B says, why can't they put some of those cameras that they have like in the shopping centers?
You know the really tall ones, police monitored cameras?
Yeah, the ones that have a light.
The blue light.
Yep. Yep.
And Jacques from Kent says, to the people in the Aurora area, don't give up. Don't let the pimps win. Openly record and document every scumbag that comes through. Activate a truly active neighborhood watch. Just don't give up. You, the residents, can take your neighborhood back. I used to live on 100th and Greenwood. Beautiful area. Take it back.
That's my favorite segment of the interview was when you asked Peter about, has he ever contemplated just giving up and moving out? And he said he can't. He can't leave this problem for other people to deal with. This has been there 16 years.
He said he felt like a failure. That was a really touching interview.
On public safety cameras for the World Cup, 206 says, agree with Jake's take on Katie Wilson. She had to have heard from many agencies prior to her verbal capitulation last week to turn on the cameras. I suspect she was pandering to her followers with her absurd position, and bet she really hadn't. I bet she'd heard plenty from FIFA. Just wonder if her untimely announcement hasn't already been on target for Seattle. Hasn't already put a target on Seattle. Sorry. As the only city not pushing back with maximum security efforts. We were the only city not agreeing to it.
Yeah. On all those auto tickets during Sully time, he told us about all those work zone speed cams. Matt says it's insane how much money that would generate. At that rate of 77,000 violators, that's about $20 million in tickets. Yikes.
Wow, that's right, because a second offense is about $250.
Pretty good.
Holy cow.
On a possible statewide cell phone ban for schools, Star in the 206 says, make sure you talk about cell phone enforcement. What is the consequence? You are not kicking anybody out of school. You can take away extracurricular activities, but what if they don't do any? Those couple of folks can cause big confrontations as well as their parents.
There you go.
425 says, I didn't let my sons have cell phones in middle school, but one of my sons got an old one from a friend and would access social media through Wi-Fi.
Tricky kids. You got to keep a tight eye on those kids. They're always trying to get around. Those rugrats. Let's see, Tamara. Honestly, middle school is brutal. Doesn't matter where you, what year you graduated middle school is always the worst.
Not wrong, man.
Timber sales.
Yeah, on Chris Reichel voting against timber sales repeatedly. Josh in Snoqualmie says, hit this story hard. Reichel is towing the line for the environmental lobby. You're absolutely right that he should leave the forestry to the foresters. DNR has a mandate to maximize value for the trust beneficiaries, like the schools. It's been held up again and again in the Supreme Court. Thank you for covering this. It's complicated, but Washington needs more people telling this story.
Happy to highlight it, Josh. And Washington leads the way in forestry. We're like one of the first in the nation and one of the leaders in the world in the way that they cultivate the forest. And again, they're growing at twice the rate of harvest. So they're obviously doing it in a really good balance. And for Reichel, who knows nothing about forestry, it's not proven yet that he knows much about education either. He should not be voting against the trees being harvested in the way that the DNR suggests.
Yeah, if you missed the story, go back and listen to the podcast. There's a board that's populated with experts in their fields who've done decades worth of education and research. And Chris Reichel is trying to play the environmental activist.
Yeah, and as a beneficiary, as the head of the schools, of where some of that money goes, he gets a vote on some of these things.
And he's vetoing harvesting.
Yeah.
Finally, Steve-O, in the 1960s, I trained as a timber cruiser. It's arduous. Chris, if you have concerns, please submit your concerns in triplicate 6 months before the board meeting so we can evaluate your concerns and make sure we answer your questions appropriately. Otherwise, sit down and shut up in the meetings.
I would rather you just say thank you.
All right. Pick up a saw.
Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. Fun show today. We'll let's do it again tomorrow. John Curley's coming up next. We'll see you back here then. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS4KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
A rising blast, left field, grand slam, the Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications